John Hoffman Electric is your neighborhood electrical service contractor, and so much more. No job is too big or too small for our team of professionals. We pride ourselves on keeping up with new technologies, such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is a proud sponsor of all local activities broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Protect what matters most with the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, American Family Insurance. Our personalized insurance solutions ensure you're covered, no matter what life throws your way. From home and auto to farm, commercial, and life, we tailor policies to fit your unique needs. With our dedicated team and exceptional service, you'll have peace of mind knowing you're in good hands. Contact the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC.
Best of luck in today's competition to the Pierre Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy, your local agronomy experts. Black Sheep Agronomy wants you to have a successful farm plan, and they're focused on products and practices that work in this region.
Stay in a beautiful Black Hills vacation home, the Summit on Dancing Sky near Leeds, South Dakota, in the popular Powder House Pass development. It's a modern rustic design with over 5,000 square feet, 6 bedrooms, and 5 baths for you to enjoy. You'll get gorgeous views of the Terry Peak Mountain Range. There's a community pool to enjoy, and you're close to all the attractions like Deadwood, Sturgis, Spearfish, and a whole lot more. The Summit on Dancing Sky. Visit them at Dancer.
Our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Getting ready to head out to the game or getting back afterwards? DJ Senix is a must before or after your travels. DJ Senix has a great selection of hot and cold snacks. They're second to none for your choice of hot or cold beverages too. And when you're heading out, be sure to fuel up with quality from the pumps at DJ's with 3 different grades. Back late? No problem. DJ's features pay at the pump convenience 24 hours a day. DJ Senix, 507 West Sioux and Pierre. Your choice for quality service and selection.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
With our new online loan application, you can go to our website and apply for a loan when it's most convenient for you. We make getting loan approval fast and easy. Our local lenders are available to assist you if you have any questions. We make it pain-free to get that loan you've been wanting. We're an equal housing lender. Oahe Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union since 1955. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hello, this is Charlie Grossberg from Grossberg Implement. I'd like to take a moment to extend a warm and heartfelt Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all our loyal customers, hardworking employees, and the incredible community of Winter and the surrounding areas. From our family to yours, may your holidays...
It's like a little kid's song. It's a little kid singing it.
Just what we need more of on this show.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, more humor, especially for Friday the 13th, right?
Yeah, you're right. And who's this? Where are you calling from?
Traverse City, Michigan. And real quick, are you guys going to be adding on any more stations after the first of the year?
Well, I sure hope so. We have a lot in the works, and we'll let you know, but I don't want to jinx anything.
Oh, okay. Well, keep me posted. All right. Well, have a good weekend.
You too, and Merry Christmas. Whee!
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you. Bye-bye.
The wife is missing. Didn't ask for her permission. I'm wearing her clothes, her silk pantyhose.
Warmth and love of family and friends. Thank you for your continued trust and support. We look forward to serving you in 2025 and beyond.
advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your team or reach the region and state. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Todd Sandel today, and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
What if we said a bank isn't a place to lock up money? It's a place to set it free. What if the point of banking wasn't to bank at all, but to put your ideas to work? What if your bank asked, what if, a little more? Well, what if we told you we do? We're American Bank and Trust, where what if meets why not? If you're ready to change what you get out of banking, start a relationship with us. What if you made the move today?
When you're thinking of a new or used car, motorcycle, pickup, or RV, think of us. We make all sorts of vehicle loans. We can set you up with payments that fit your budget. So if you have getting some new wheels in mind, stop by and see us. We'll get you the right loan. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. We're big on you.
We're smart enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
When you're in the need for high-quality replacement auto parts, look no further than Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop in Pierre. Zander's has been servicing the Pierre area for over 40 years. Their professional parts techs can get you the part you need and get you back on the road. Stop by Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop at 500 West Sioux in Pierre or call 224-9221. Zander's, your source for domestic and foreign auto parts and accessories.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
At Ringneck Energy, their mission is to produce renewable energy that adds value to grain and livestock production, enhances the income of their investor partners, and provide a safe, rewarding work environment. Located at 901 Redwood Avenue in Oneida, South Dakota. Call 605-945-6900 or check ringneckenergy.com. A proud supporter of local schools and wishes all students the best of luck in all their activities during the school year, creating economic opportunities in our community.
Ready to gain an edge in your career? Tide Machinery's Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a Titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Tide Machinery, Highmore, Miller, and Pierre, your local Case IH dealer. Visit TitanMachinery.com/careers to learn more.
The Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota offers sports and family-friendly rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, Finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
Wow, Bill, you're walking so much better. What did you do?
Well, I got so tired of the pain and nearly fell. And one of my friends recommended physical therapy at Winter Physical Therapy. And you know what? My back also stopped hurting.
Huh. So how did you get started?
My doctor wrote me a referral, but that's not always needed. Turns out you always have a choice where you want to go.
So why did you choose Winter Physical Therapy?
I love to support our locally owned small businesses, and quite frankly, they give great personalized care.
Winter Physical Therapy. Exceptional care.
That moment when you realize your furnace is stone cold busted. We're talking a real put on every sweater you own, I can't feel my feet, penguin predicament. But fear not, there's an expert.
Let your local heating experts at Tights Service Experts keep you warm with $50 off any furnace repair.
Like it toasty? There's an expert for that.
Call Tights Service Experts at 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
For over 70 years, Pitt's Design Build has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitt's Design Build is conveniently located in Pierre, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and/or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while fueling your vehicle up with Senex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
DRG Media Group Sports is the official.
Back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Welcome back. National Bank, the May Adam Law Firm, American Bank and Trust, Pierre Regional Airport, Nystrom Electrical Contracting, Access Health Fort Pierre, the Corner Station, and Black Hills Federal Credit Union. And Governor Basketball is brought to you in part by Oahe Federal Credit Union, TMA, Kathy Sun and Shine Properties, Wagner Auto, Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, the Lariat Lanes, the Ramkota Hotel and Conference Center, Ferding Electric, Bauman Lumber, and Zander Auto Parts. These special in-game sponsors bring you Governor Basketball. The Hughes County Jail, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, Central Dakota Eye Care, Envirotech, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Division of Consumer Protection, Comtech, Coca-Cola Bottling, Wealth Partners Ameriprise Financial, Family Dental of Pierre and Gettysburg, Hermanson Endodontics, Cowboy Country Stores, Gales Gas Service, and Bauman Lumber.
Now, Pierre Governor Basketball.
Hey, thank you very much, and a very good Friday evening, everybody. A night of high school basketball coming your way as the Pierre Governors open up their season at home at Riggs High Gym. They'll take on the Rapid City Stevens Raiders. It's Stevens tonight, and, of course, the crosstown rival from Rapid City Central, with the Cobblers coming in here tomorrow. So we start the season with a pair of games back-to-back for the Governors. Welcome once again to Riggs High Gym. Brian Oakland with play-by-play coming up tonight. William Wilson will run our show in studio, and Brian Minning is on camera for Live Ticket. You'll be able to watch the coverage of our game as well as hear it at Live Tickets. Camera view with drgnews.com on the River 92.7 page. We offer the DRG News app, and you can see it at gogovs.live as well. Kind of excited to start another new season of high school basketball throughout South Dakota. Of course, at this point of the season, everybody is a contender. Everybody's starting 0-0 for a couple of teams that both lost in the Sodak 16, but really had opportunities
to go into the state tournaments. And certainly you lose a group of seniors and other players for various reasons, but I think both of these teams are hoping to see real good things coming up, but they'd like to get off to a great start tonight here with Rapid City Stevens and the Pierre Governors coming up here from Riggs High Gym. Our coverage of high school sports and Pierre Governor basketball brought to you in part by some of your Pierre Sports marketing sponsors. We included some of them, but they also include Superior Concrete in Pierre, and we'll hear from our sponsors throughout the evening tonight as well. Let's open up with a 3-minute timeout as the Pierre Riggs High Pep Band gets going during a timeout in the sophomore game. Sophomore game right now being led by Stevens, 36-29. About 4 minutes left in that ball game. The JV game that started the festivities tonight on the varsity court went to Rapid City Stevens with his final score of 50-47. So good competition there. We expect a good varsity game coming up as well. Bank West pregame, sponsored by Bank West for the best. Begins in 3 minutes. So does Pierre Governor basketball. And your official voice of the Governors, it's River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Voice of the Pierre Governors.
Pinoles wants to run again, and he's got room. 40, 30, foot race to the 10, 5, and a touchdown. Pierre will come back and set up Avery Kaiser on the outside left through the block, and that's down.
The official voice of the Pierre Governors, River 92.7, and also at the River 92.7 page of the DRG News app, brought to you by Golden Buffalo and drgnews.com.
Briggs Trucking and Construction in Fort Pierre provides quality freight transportation services, cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your next project.
Graham Tire of Pierre is your premier hometown shop, specializing in tires to fit vehicles, from ATVs to large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at grahamtire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Pierre and surrounding communities' local activities.
Scott Darnell with Lee Real Estate in Pierre is ready to help you find your dream home. There are 10 things you need to do to buy or sell your home. Number 1, call him at 605-220-2676, and he'll handle the other 9. As your resident realtor on a bike, he will make buying or selling your home feel like a walk in the park, not an Ironman triathlon. Find him on Facebook or email scott@LeeRealEstatePierre.com. Lee Real Estate and Scott are proud sponsors of Central South Dakota Youth Sports and Events broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet, or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
To the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box.
Back at Riggs High Gym, Brian Oakman here with play-by-play coming up. Pierre Governor basketball is on the air, and of course the Governor girls are on the air tonight as well, although it'll be a little bit later on as they are out in Rapid City tonight here at Riggs. It's the boys with Pierre hosting Rapid City Stevens. Out west, it'll be Rapid City Stevens hosting the Pierre Governor girls, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit as we take a look at the state of basketball, beginning our Bank West pregame show. But before we do that, for everybody on the road, for high school sports, for the holidays, for whatever reason, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds us all to slow down and stay alert. Don't veer for deer. Make sure you're buckling up every trip, every time from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. Let's take a look at what's going on so far in the state of basketball. Of course, this is the first night of AA basketball in South Dakota, boys and girls. But taking a look back at last year in boys basketball, if you recall, Mitchell won 19 out of 20 games in the regular season, and they went on to win the state basketball tournament by 1 point over Brandon Valley. Brandon Valley had a great season, 15-5 in the regular season. Harrisburg also won 17 out of 20. They were the 2 seed back then. Sioux Falls Roosevelt and Washington. Huron, Watertown, Jefferson were the top 8. Rapid City Stevens went to Jefferson as the 9 seed in the Sodak 16, but could not get to the state tournament. The Pierre Governors finished 10-10 in the regular season and went to Sioux Falls, Washington. Played a good game, but Sioux Falls, Washington just a little better, and they went on to the state tournament. They actually struggled a little bit at state, but they made it, and certainly the Governors wish they could have been there as well. But again, after losing the group of seniors that they had, specifically Jet Zabel, I think, is the most notable that you would think of who the Governors lost a year ago. They come back with a pretty good nucleus. We'll see what they can put together. Both of these teams have kind of 3 primary starters that are coming back. Maybe the Governors, the Governors with 3 starters and a couple of others with significant minutes from a year ago that they'll be relying on this season. Rapid City Stevens, kind of the same thing, 3 returning starters to lead the way. But here's what's coming up in action here tonight. A full slate of games, in fact, 10 games scheduled, one of which has been postponed, Harrisburg and Yankton. In fact, we've got a lot of double headers going on, and that might be a real trend this year for double header basketball. Now, with Rapid City Stevens here at Pierre to take on the Governors, traveling partner for Stevens, of course, Rapid City Central going to the Governors' traveling partner in Aberdeen Central. So Central is at Aberdeen, it's Central at Central, if you look at it that way. And Rapid City Central will be here tomorrow. Meanwhile, double headers include Yankton at Harrisburg, but for some reason that has been postponed. Watertown playing at Brookings tonight. T-Area starting at Huron at the arena. Sioux Falls, Washington going to Lincoln. Even double headers in Sioux Falls with Jefferson at Roosevelt too. And Spearfish playing at Bellefouche, Sturgis at Custer in the Black Hills Conference. One other game that is just boys tonight is Brandon Valley playing at O'Gorman to start the season. We mentioned Rapid City Central is here tomorrow afternoon. We'll start at 12:30 with our pregame here at River 92.7 and have a 1 o'clock tip-off with the Governors and the Cobblers at Riggs High tomorrow, while Rapid City Stevens heads on up to Aberdeen after the game tonight, and they'll play the Golden Eagles tomorrow afternoon as well. Another doubleheader in the Black Hills Conference then has Douglas hosting Rapid City Christian. Quick look at the week ahead in boys hoops. It's Sioux Falls Roosevelt at O'Gorman on Monday. Brookings playing at Huron on Tuesday. Mitchell goes to Watertown. Washington hosting Yankton, and Harrisburg playing at Sioux Falls Lincoln. Couple more games on Thursday with Brandon Valley hosting Sioux Falls Jefferson. Brookings playing host to T-Area. The Govs after this weekend will be next in action. Next weekend, another back-to-back as the Govs take to the road for the first time to go to Sturgis on Friday night and Spearfish on Saturday afternoon. The Governor girls will be hosting Sturgis on Friday night and then Spearfish on Saturday afternoon as well. And again, the Governor girls, or I should say the girls basketball schedule with all of the doubleheaders very similar to the boys tonight. No Brandon Valley O'Gorman game, but all of those double headers plus Aberdeen Central playing at Rapid City Central while the Governor girls play at Stevens. Last year it was O'Gorman who finished an undefeated season at 24-0, although they got taken to overtime in the first round of the state tournament by Rapid City Stevens, only to have Stevens then lose to the Governors in the consolation semifinal. Pierre finished at a 5th place consolation championship. So a great finish, a great season for Kirk Bebout and the girls, who finished 17-7 on this season. Now they lose some very key seniors from a year ago, but they still have 3 guards that they'll rely on quite a bit. And Lennox Dupree, Grace Richter, and Gracelyn Taylor in particular. And they'll see what else roles they get figured out with the holes that'll need to be filled. The Govs were the 5 seed going to the Sodax 16. They had a win over Huron to make it to the state tournament. And again, a lot of success over the last couple of years. We'll see if the Governor girls can keep things going. We'll have some Governor girls games here on River 92.7 this season for sure. Sophomore game is about ready to wrap up. It's 39-31 with 8 seconds to go. Stevens still holding the lead. Stevens won the JV game by 3. We've got the varsity contest coming up. A quick look at the other schedule of Governor sports. We'll do that a little bit later on, but let's step away for a 3-minute timeout. We'll come back with more of our Bankwest pregame show, Governor basketball, about 15-20 minutes away as you listen to the Govs on River 92.7 at drgnews.com.
Olson Plumbing in Pierre provides complete plumbing and drain cleaning services to commercial and residential customers. Olson Plumbing understands how the simple things in life are often the things we can't live without, and running water is the top of the list. Olson Plumbing offers 24/7 emergency services, and they can be at your location in under an hour in most cases. If you need help with your plumbing system, call Olson Plumbing 605-224-6436.
You asked for it. Non-stop flights between Pierre and Minneapolis. Now you can book non-stop flights from Pierre to Minneapolis and Denver on Denver Air Connection. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets with fares starting at just $119 one way. Seats are limited and restrictions apply. Business, pleasure, a game, a winter getaway. It's easy when you fly from Pierre. Visit DenverAirConnection.com/Expedia to book your trip today. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Minneapolis flights begin November 30th.
In a world that's always moving, your journey matters. And at Iverson Auto Group, we're here to get you on the road with a great selection of new and used vehicles and trailers, and keep you on the road with top-notch service, maintenance, and support. Every mile of your journey, the experienced team at Iverson Auto in Mitchell and Huron are here to help. Visit us in Mitchell and Huron, or start your search at iversonauto.com to begin your journey today.
At Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box.
This pregame show, teams are out ready to go as they're getting their pregame warm-ups. Game number 1 to start the high school basketball season. Quick look at other Governor sports that are going on. It's Pierre against Rapid City Stevens tonight and against Rapid City Central tomorrow for both boys and girls. Of course, the girls are on the road. Sturgis and Spearfish provide the opposition next weekend with the boys on the road, the girls here at home before the holiday break. Other Governor sports happening right now. The Rapid City Invitational Wrestling Tournament for the boys and the girls going on out in Rapid City at the Monument Arena. The Governor boys boys so far, not so bad. They're placing third, 67.5 points behind Bismarck at 74.5, and then Sturgis, who is leading at 98.5. Pierre still ahead of Watertown with 65 points, Aberdeen Central and Rapid City Stevens, along with Cheyenne, North Dakota. It's Cheyenne with an S, I believe, from North Dakota at 64 points, about 3.5 behind Pierre's boys. Pierre's girls right now are trailing Canton by 1.5. Canton at 75.5, Pierre at 74. Bismarck is another half point behind the Governor girls. But, of course, Pierre might still be the favorite in that tournament. Big tournament going on, the Rapid City Invitational Wrestling Tournament. Tomorrow, gymnastics takes the Lady Governor gymnastics to Aberdeen Central. They'll go to Mitchell next Saturday. And hockey is in action tonight as well. The boys and girls playing Sioux Center, Iowa tonight. And then the boys will play tomorrow and the girls will play on Sunday afternoon. So a lot of sports going on this weekend here in the capital city. Let's talk to the coaches. It's time for our keys to success in the pregame, sponsored by Central Dakota Eye Care. We'll hear from Chris Stabner of Rapid City Stevens, but we start with Brianna Kuzler, the fourth-year head coach of the Pierre Governors. And my phone just went dark. Here we go. All right, here we go in the basketball season with Governor head coach Brianna Kuzler as we talk keys to success. Game number one, coach, and practices, you get 10 practices or so every year. There's a lot of play over the summertime and things like that, but it all boils down to now here we are. It's early to mid-December and it's go time, and you got a brand new season of Governor basketball coming up. I guess the question is, who's back and what do you expect out of this year?
We return about 4 kids who got considerable time last year, and their leadership has been fantastic thus far, and we'll lean on that a lot. Both their on-court, off-court leadership has been great, and helps us coaches out tremendously. They take care of a lot of things that don't even get to us, and they help them out, whether it be from an accountability standpoint or it's on-court offense, sets, actions, defensive rotations, things like that. They're disciplined kids, they're awesome kids, and they do a really good job of teaching and leading, which is the reason that they are as successful as they have been as basketball players as well, because they know the game very well. And those kids, we've got a great group of seniors right now, but Luke Olson, Dawson Getz, Sawyer Sun and Shine, and Eladio Simental are our 4 primary returners that we've got, and then we're filling with quite a few different kids who don't have any tick really on varsity, but we'll throw them into the fire and they'll learn fast. They've done well, challenging one another in practice and kind of rising to the occasion of the speed of the game, and the pace of play. It's certainly different than whether it be freshman, sophomore, or JV level, but it's nothing that they can't get under control pretty quickly.
You mentioned speed and pace, because in conversations we're talking about a much faster pace of play than most fans might be used to.
Yeah, we're excited. Even for me as a player and thus far as a coach, it's going to be a different style that we're going to play this year, and we're really looking forward to it. We want to get up, control the tempo, dictate tempo is what we preach a lot, and that sometimes comes in forms of rushing in the full court, but also containment in the full court as well. Ideally, that we can get ourselves into playing a full game of full court basketball. Our goal is for that tonight, but we'll see condition-wise where we are at. But we've got a pretty big crew of kids that we're confident in rotating through. So we certainly like our depth in comparison to other teams, and we want to see that as our advantage going forward. We talk a lot about it's not going to happen. You're not going to win the game in the first quarter or the second quarter or the third quarter, but if we can wear teams down in those quarters, you can take away the game in the fourth quarter and run away with it. So just staying disciplined and being conscious and intentional about every single possession, not taking anything off, and good things are going to happen.
Rapid City Stevens tonight, you kind of traditionally start with this team, and last year it was a low-scoring, kind of a sloppy game. You're going to see that in the first game of the season, but what do you know about this team?
They've got about a 3-headed monster that's returning right now in Minka Hawley, Colleen Brooks, and Daylor Segrist. Those 3 are going to be their primary scoring threats that we've got to make sure that we're doing a good job of locating. For us, we're going to rotate guys through defensively. 1 through 5, we're pretty much similar height, so we can look to switch things and force them to have to give the ball up as much as possible. Those guys, though, really making sure it's difficult when they do give it back to give it up to get it back, and that just comes with that intentional defensive side of things, allowing our defense to play into our offense. You've heard that plenty of times before, but it certainly reigns true. If you see the undercard games, they were playing some full court stuff, and quality things took place because of the pressure that they put. You rushed some teams, but then also on the flip side, we want to push, but pushing with that patience. And if we don't have a primary look in transition, then settling in and forcing them to have to play half-court defense and get good ball reversals and quality looks and using that shot clock. Again, that's not only are we looking to wear teams down in the full court, but then half-court defensively having to play 25, 30 seconds every single possession.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach, hey, we're looking forward to it already. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
There's Brianna Kuzler, the head coach of the Pierre Governors. Coach's comments, keys to success, are sponsored by Central Dakota Eye Care. We'll step aside and hear from them, and then we speak with Chris Stabner, the head coach of the Rapid City Stevens Raiders. Keys to success continue next. This is Governor Basketball.
Did you know 16 million Americans suffer from dry eye? Hi, this is Dr. Nick Marso of Central Dakota Eye Care. Along with providing comprehensive eye exams evaluating vision and health of your eyes, we now offer IPL dry eye treatments. OptiLight IPL is a new, innovative light therapy treatment for dry eye and is FDA approved. Also available at our clinic are dry eye products and supplements. Call us today, 224-6128, for more information and to schedule an appointment. Central Dakota Eye Care, 640 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Better vision for a great life.
Our keys to success will continue with Chris Stabner, the head coach of Rapid City Stevens, coming back in another new year here, Coach. Last year, I think things got pretty good by the end of the season. 12-8 in the season, a 9 seed in the Sodak 16. Unfortunately, couldn't get by Sioux Falls Jefferson in their place. But, I think from what I assumed, it's just kind of continued improvement throughout the season, and that's what you always want to see is just getting better each and every day, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, it was a roller coaster ride last year. I think, last weekend we really could have put ourselves in position to host a game. So, that's been our focus this year is don't get on the roller coaster. We've got to be more consistent, not ups and downs, and especially, losing some key players last year. We got some guys back, but we got to just be more consistent and take care of the basketball way better than we did last year.
Good nucleus of, a three-headed, I suppose, monster, if you want to call it that. But talk about leadership and what you've seen so far in practice.
Yeah, there's been more buy-in, I think, the first 2 weeks of practice, honestly, than we had all last year. There's a focus on taking care of the basketball now. We haven't seen pressure in practice like we'll probably see tonight, so we'll see how that goes. But, no, I think we're led by mostly seniors, so a number of them playing since their sophomore year. So you'd like to think they've matured and kind of to this point hopefully bought in and know what they need to do to compete with really good teams like Pierre.
Yeah, and when you've got first game coming out, I mean, obviously we're not expecting mid-season form, but if you've got a pretty good group that's already gelling together, maybe that does bode for a little more success than other teams might have.
Yeah, I mean, it was maybe practice were a little smoother. You didn't have to, rehash the stuff we're running because they've done it for a few years. And experience is important, especially AA basketball. It's tough to win with not having experience and younger players. So, we've got a lot of seniors, we have experience. Hopefully that correlates to some success.
All right, you already talked a little bit about the Pierre Governors. Maybe you're already aware that they probably are going to pick up the pace a little bit. Biggest challenges you'll face tonight?
Yeah, I would assume so. With Terwilliger out, they're not, up and down their lineup all that big. So I would assume they're going to have to get after us. Watching their, obviously, JV team do that. It's something we're going to have to handle, which we didn't really do a very good job last year. So, if we don't handle their pressure, it's not going to be exclusive for us scoring on the other end. And we got to take care of the basketball got to hold in one shot. If we can hold in one shot, it's tougher to press when you're, not taking the ball. It's going backwards.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. So rebounding and turnovers, obviously, other keys to success.
I think just execution, and playing with some confidence. There's going to be runs in this game. It's an environment that you can't play up to the environment you're in. You got to just be even keel. And we just want to, by the end of the game, know that we gave everything we had and just see what happens.
All right. Coach, appreciate your time as always. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Chris Stabler, the head coach of the Rapid City Stevens Raiders. Again, coach's comments, keys to success, courtesy of Central Dakota Eye Care in Pierre. Moving forward in our Bankwest pregame show, under 2 minutes to go in our pregame countdown. Let's run through the starting lineups real quickly here, and we'll meet the Governors to start this season. At one guard, it'll be Sawyer Sonnenschein, 5'8" senior. A second guard, of course, Dawson Getz, the shooter, the 6'3" senior. Of course, I think the leader of this team is going to be expecting a lot from Luke Olson, the 5'11" senior. Third guard forwards are Eladio Simmental, the 6'1" senior, and Corday Austin, a 6'3" junior who showed a lot of good things in the undercard games a year ago, as Austin will be maybe the man in the middle with, as Coach Stabler mentioned, Cooper Terwilliger out. Terwilliger, the 6'6" sophomore who will not play basketball this year. He had a shoulder injury suffered in football, has had surgery on that, and that is going to keep him out of action for the next few months, which will cover the entire basketball season, unfortunately. So it is Olson, Getz, Sonnenschein, Simmental, and Austin, the starting five of the Governors, and they will punch a number of people in, shuffling people in and out for the Govs this year. Head coach is Brianna Kuzler. She's assisted by Skip Kurth, Brevin Kaiser, Craig Ullman, and Cooper Hartley this season. For the Rapid City Stevens Raiders, our starting lineups are brought to you by Envirotech in Pierre, by the way. They'll be starting in the backcourt with 5'11" senior guard J.D. Green, and also Daylor Segrist, a good ball player, 6'3". He's a senior as well, maybe the one to watch. If not, Minka Hawley, another good one, 6'4" senior, can do an awful lot of things with that size and good ball handling skills. Kalen Brooks is a small forward, a 6'2" senior, and Dylan Samansky, a 6'4" senior, will man the middle for Rapid City Stevens. So it's J.D. Green, Minka Hawley, Daylor Segrist in the backcourt, Kalen Brooks and Dylan Samansky in the front court for the Rapid City Stevens Raiders, 12-9 a year ago. Head coach is Chris Stabner, assisted by Steve Anderson, Bennett Fierro, Jason Olson, and Alexander Keene. Those are the starting lineups brought to you by Envirotech. We pause for 2 minutes, and we'll give you our game officials, the other starting lineup, coming up in just a little bit as our Bankwest pregame continues. This is Pierre Governor basketball.
Envirotech makes life a little bit.
Being local means more than being just another small-town business. It means showing up for our member owners when they need us, supporting the organizations that empower the next generation of community leaders and agriculturalists, and providing resources to help ensure the communities we live in are here for generations to come. At AgTegra Cooperative, local isn't just about where our locations are. It's about serving our farmers, our employees, and our communities in ways that nobody else will.
Hey Josie, why so glum, chum? I can't find a way to get my favorite one spot without taking all this far. You haven't heard of Denwall Transportation? They have luxury seating, buses with air conditioning, outlets to charge your phone, and other must-haves for traveling. Whoa, no way! Yeah, you should check them out. Where can I find them? You can follow them on Facebook or denwalltransportation.com, or hey, let's give them a call at 605-532-3836. Denwall Transportation, let us do the driving.
Explore the 2023 Lincoln Navigator at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Every time you approach your Lincoln, you'll receive a re-carpet welcome. Twin turbocharged 3.5 V6 engine with auto start technology, you'll travel confidently with technology that meets all your needs. Now you can get the 2023 Navigator for 5.9% at 72 months. Stop in and see the full vehicle lineup at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Capital City Ford in Pierre, South Dakota.
Now's your chance for a great deal on smoking fast fiber internet from Venture Communications. Upgrade to the speed you need, up to 1 gig. And with whole home Wi-Fi included as part of your service, experience no-lag gaming, your favorite music, web surfing, HD video streaming and connect to the latest smart devices. If you're ready for an upgrade, call or visit Venture Communications online.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box. Oahe Federal Credit Union.
Riley Daniel. Ella Dowling.
We thank them for doing what is very oftentimes a thankless job in officiating high school sports, and very oftentimes specifically the game of basketball. Mike Kirkaby, Chris Long, and Brandon Solik, tonight's game officials. I believe it's Kirkaby coming from Rapid City, Chris Long from Precho, Brandon Solik from the Pierre area as well. Tonight's game officials, thanks guys for being the law on the court tonight. Mike Kirkaby, Chris Long, and Brandon Solik. Game officials sponsored by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office and their Division of Consumer Protection. We pause for 1 minute and we're tipping off the season tonight here at the official home of the Pierre Governors is River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
This winter, Allied Plumbing and Heating is your contact for business, farm, commercial, and residential plumbing needs located in Pierre. No job is too big or small for Allied. Put our over 50 years of experience to work for you. At Allied Plumbing and Heating, the only surprise we want for our customers is how fast they get the job done. That's why we offer free estimates on every single service. No hidden charges. Give them a call today at Allied Plumbing and Heating. Remember, you can rely on your allies.
John Hoffman Electric is your neighborhood electrical service contractor and so much more. No job is too big or too small for our team of professionals. We pride ourselves on keeping up with new technology, such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is a proud sponsor of all local activities broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box.
Drive slower, live longer.
We're at Riggs High Gym, and the Pierre Governors are hosting the Rapid City Stevens Raiders. Brian Oakland with play-by-play. William Wilson in studio coming up, and also Brian Menning is on camera tonight for Live Ticket. You can watch our coverage as well as hear it at drgnews.com and at drgnews.com. So welcome aboard. Rapid City Stevens providing the opposition. They'll be in royal blue with the white numbers and silver trim. The Governors in home green tonight. And the opening tip, sponsored by Comtech in Pierre, is tipped right to J.D. Green. And Rapid City Stevens, they get an easy layup, moving from right to left and up and in. So Stevens strikes quickly, just a few seconds in. Governors in home white tonight with the green numbers and trim. They'll move from left to right as you watch this one at drgnews.com. Here's Dawson Getz in traffic at the elbow, right side. Keeps it alive. He'll find Corday Austin looking for three. Austin, pretty good shooter. Couldn't get that one, but we got an offensive rebound pulled down by Dawson Getz. And now loose ball picked up by Sawyer Sonnenschein. A fresh shot clock for the Governors as Luke Olson will drive left side trying to get the dipsy-do. It will not go. The rebound is down to Stevens, and they'll look to add to their 2-0 lead. They get an opportunity to slow it up in the half court this time after getting a very quick bucket off of the opening tip in their first possession. Sawyer Sonnenschein going for a steal, couldn't get to it, but the shot fired from three-point range, no good. It's an offensive rebound, though, put back up and in for Kalen Brooks. It was Hawley who missed the three. Minka Hawley will be one to watch. In the meantime, 4-0 Stevens to start things out. Here comes Dawson Getz. He'll stop inside the free throw line, fire one from there, fading away, but it's off the mark, no good. And Hawley down with a rebound. Here come the Raiders looking to add to a 4-0 lead. J.D. Green right side, top of the key. Will advance over to the left. Tries to keep the pass away, but Corday Austin takes it away and takes it the distance with the slam. Corday Austin with an emphatic start to the offensive season for the Governors. And now, as the Governors defend the pass in front of their own bench, it is Eladio Simmental defending against Kalen Brooks. He'll knock it off of Brooks, and it's out of bounds. Takeaway. 4-2 ball game here, but Nice to see a slam dunk again. Here's a fake of the pass and the drive down the lane by Luke Olson, who will hit the floater, and it's a 4-4 tie. Just underway, but already some action here with the Governors. Now driving is Brooks, and he'll get a hand check by Dawson Getz. Getz will pick up the foul, and we'll have our first play stoppage from a whistle standpoint, from a foul standpoint here on the evening, and Brooks will go to the free throw line. Really liked what I saw in the opening game of the season last year from Mr. Brooks. A very, very good rebounder. Let's not sell him short for the most part, and he was able to get a lot of second chance baskets. He gets the first free throw here. Stevens retakes the lead at 5-4, but Brooks is going to be one of the leaders. Of course, we'll see a lot of Minka Hawley, Daylor Segrist with the most experience on this Stevens squad. 2 for 2, and perfection for both for Kalen Brooks, who has 4 of the 6 so far for the Raiders, who lead 6-4. Just under 6 minutes to play. And welcome to a new season of high school basketball here at Riggs High Gym. Sawyer Sonnenschein from Luke Olson, top of the key. Sonny only 5'8". He's going to be in among the trees quite a bit here this evening. He's got it back from Getz. Left wing, back up to Olson now. 10 on the shot clock. Olson trying to get the screen. He'll drive, but trying to kick back to Sonnenschein. He mishandles it. It's a loose ball. Actually, the shot clock reset, but Olson came up with it. He tries to get it back to Austin. That's through his hands. Corday not quite expecting that one. And it is out of bounds. I don't think the shot clock really should have reset. So Stevens gets a break anyway as the Governors toss it out of bounds. First turnover for Pierre, and it's 6-4 Stevens as they'll cross the timeline against a Governor press that we will see all season long. Here's a drive for Segrist left side, a reach, and this might be Getz again. Dawson's going to pick up his second personal foul, and quickly Brianna Kuzler will have to go to her bench. First choice is Lincoln Dilgis, a 6'4 junior. He'll wait after one free throw for Segrist to check in. Talking to Coach Kuzler, she says we should expect a fast-paced style of play. She really would like to get her team up to the level of speed of a Bismarck team. If you have seen the Demons, the Governors have played them the last 3 years. They've won 2 out of 3 of those battles. But the Governors were able to play that up-tempo, and that's kind of what they're hoping for this year. Here's another 2-for-2 trip to the line for the Raiders, though, as Segrist gets his first 2 points, and Stevens out to an 8-4 lead. Olson telegraphing the first pass here to Austin near half court. Segrist comes to cut that off, and he'll knock it away to the Pierre bench. And from the far side, it'll be Corday Austin to inbound. Austin with a slam dunk already. The Governors had 72 slams 2 years ago with that athletic bunch. They had a grand total of 0 last year, so it's nice to have somebody who can get up and fly a little bit, provide some excitement here, as we'll joke about that a little bit. Now down to 15 and counting on the shot clock in this possession. Olson will find Simmental. Eladio drives, puts the shot up, doesn't use the backboard. Maybe he wishes he did, but then as J.D. Green collects the rebound, Simmental trying to make amends. He'll come back and get a hard foul, and that is his first personal. 3rd team foul for the Governors with 4:40 to go, quarter number 1. Stevens will throw in. Stevens scored the first 4. The Governors with the next 4 to tie it. Stevens with the 3rd 4-point bunch, and they're looking for more with an 8-4 lead. 4.5 to go, quarter number 1. On the move is Hawley. He loses the dribble, though. The Govs get the takeaway. And Olson, nice reverse as he crosses over and puts the right-hander up with the reverse to the left side. It really might have been a steal, but maybe just a fumbled dribble that turned into that Governor takeaway. But points off of turnovers. Already 4 out of 6 for Pierre. On the board, coming from Stevens' turnovers. Here's Hawley. He'll leave it with Brooks, top of the key, screen and roll, back underneath. Minka Hawley against Lincoln Dilgis, and Hawley fading away with a little jump hook. That's up and in. And the Raiders lead 10-6. Sonnenschein will slow it up a little bit. Not quite the fast pace of play that we expected for the Govs. A little bit of a weave here with Austin back to Olson. Siegrist defending. Olsen slips and falls, and his pass is tipped and taken away. Hawley leads it up to J.D. Green, and Green will score his second basket. Both with layups, and Stevens advances their lead to a 6-point edge at 12-6. Left to right across the timeline goes Simmental. Now Olsen in front of the student body, who's got their ugly Christmas sweaters on tonight. All festive. Happy holidays, everybody. Here, by the way, a pass to Austin, who stutters the step, and it'll be a traveling call. Third turnover for the Govs. Sonnenschein will check out for the first time. He'll be replaced by Carter Schuffelbein, 5'10 sophomore. And we'll also see Austin catch a break for the first time. Caden Ahart, a 6'2 sophomore, coming in. Out of varsity inexperience off the bench for the Governors. 4 seniors who really had all of the minutes last year on the varsity floor. Stevens breaks pressure. J.D. Green drives. Rebound is tipped, and it is off of Pierre. Olsen tried to run it down in the near side left corner. His old man about had to catch him there, but Luke stays away. Meanwhile, it'll be another possession coming here for Rapid City Stevens. 2:49 as they inbound. Left to go, quarter number 1. 12-6 Raiders. Girls game will tip off at about 7:30 Mountain Time. Here is Brooks as Simmental gets a tip and the loose ball into the backcourt. Simmental won't get the steal, but he will induce the jump ball, and that will be a Stevens turnover. And Pierre will get the basketball back. They'll throw in from between the Rapid City bench and the scorer's table. Across the way, and it comes into Luke Olsen. Olsen might be one of these guys who's expected to play about 32 minutes a game this season. Here's a bad pass by Simmental. Hawley takes it away, and he tried to go behind the back on the dribble for a reverse layup, but he fumbled that, and he misses the layup, and then as Olsen gets the rebound, he is hit by Daylor Siegrist, who will be guilty of his first personal foul, the first team foul for the Raiders. And it comes with 5.5 minutes plus gone by. And now, as I mentioned, Olsen may be expected to play 32 minutes. Here he comes out. Sawyer Sonnenschein checks in place of Luke Olsen. 12-6 Rapid City Stevens still. Schuffelbein will send it across the timeline. He'll get it to Ahart. Caden will hand it off to Sawyer Sonnenschein. Sawyer dribbles left, doesn't pass it off. He'll pull up on the baseline, try a 12-footer. It's no good, and we've got a rebounding foul. That will go to Lincoln Dilgis, it appears. And Dilgis with his first personal. 4 for the Governors. And I'm trying to remember the rule changes. I believe we do have resets of fouls after each quarter. I'm going to have to check that in the second period. My memory isn't so good anymore. Here we go as Stevens on the move. J.D. Green trying to dump one off down to the right corner. New player on the floor, Jess Christensen, a 6'4 senior. But he zigged when he should have zagged, and the pass goes out of bounds. Stevens will give it back for the 4th time. Green checks out. And for the first time, Seth Paugh, a 5'11 junior, checks in for Stevens. Olsen quickly back in. Schuffelbein out for Pierre. Minute 46 left. Scoring has slowed a bit. 12-6 here in our opening quarter. Game number 1 of the season. Simmental between the legs a couple of times. Will get it across the timeline against Brooks. Now comes near side with a pass to Sonnenschein. Up top with it now. And over to the left side again to Simmental. Top of the key, Olsen. Now Caden Ahart's down low. Simmental breaking free, but he can't hit the 10-footer. Fading away a bit. Minka Hawley with the rebound. And Stevens on the move again. Right wing crossing over. Hawley, he'll fade away. Put the floater up. That rims in and out. No good. Ahart's up high for the rebound. And up ahead go the Governors with the feed to Lincoln Dilgis. Dilgis will finish the fast break. Score his first 2 varsity points, and it's 12-8. Here back within 4 as we enter the final minute of quarter number 1. Hawley steps back beyond the 3-point line left side, but he gives it up. Christensen now to Seth Paugh. Now Hawley again for 3. That one in, out, no good. Christensen gets an offensive board. That won't go on the putback. And then Olsen back in there to get the rebound. 30 seconds to play. Teams combined just 0 for 3 so far here in this first quarter. Governors have the shot clock on still, but it's pretty much neck and neck. Less than a second difference between the shot clock and the game clock, winding down quarter number 1. Simmental checks the time as he takes the pass. He'll dribble it over to Luke Olsen now, still top of the key. Olsen looking for a screen, feeds to Dilges, shot is blocked. Segrist gets in there. It's taken away by Hawley. Now his pass stolen by Sawyer Sonnenschein. He heaves one from 3/4 of the length of the court, but it was short, and I don't think it would have counted anyway. But on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, it's Rapid City Stevens at the end of one with a 12-8 lead. Our scoreboard sponsored by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. We pause for 60 seconds. Quarter number 2 coming up next. You're listening to Pierre Governors Basketball.
Best of luck in today's competition to the Pierre Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy, your local agronomy experts. Black Sheep Agronomy wants you to have a successful farm plan, and they're focused on products and practices that work in this region. As community members themselves, Tyler, Tice, and Austin support area students who work hard in their school and extracurricular activities. Good luck, Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy. Call 842-6104 for all your agronomy needs.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box.
Back at Riggs High as the Governors shoot just 4 of 11 on that first quarter. Stevens goes 4 of 9, but they hit 4 of 4 from the free throw stripe as well. Rapid City Stevens leads 12-8. We start quarter number 2. And Stevens with the basketball and the alternating possession as well. Brian Oakland with the play-by-play. Glad to have you aboard. Justin Cowart will call Governor Girls action from Rapid City Stevens tonight on KGFX. Skip pass across the way. Seth Paugh firing for 3, but it's no good. That is pulled down by Kalen Brooks. An offensive rebound. Mentioned his rebounding prowess a moment ago. Here's another 3 for Hawley that won't go. And the Governors come out of there with Olsen on the rebound, feeding to Corday Austin. And there's that fast break for the Governors. Tell you what, there's the pace of play that the Govs will have. When they get the basketball, loose ball or a takeaway, they want to move and move quickly. In fact, they've scored 8 points of their 10 off of fast breaks. Here is Austin getting a foul in here as contact was induced by the shooter. And it's going to be Jess Christensen going to the free throw line. Christensen got a pass inside underneath and kind of bounced or jumped back, maybe to create some space for himself, but he jumped right into the space occupied by Corday Austin. Austin unable to stay vertical, and yes, the foul numbers do reset as we go to the second quarter here. First team foul in quarter number 2 for the Governors. Austin's first personal. Christensen off the back iron on the first one. Second one has a better rotation. That's up and good. And the Stevens Raiders tack on one more, 13-10. First minute gone by in quarter number 2. Olsen across the timeline, loses the dribble, but it's picked up by Caden Aharts. He'll find Sonnenschein to Austin. Now Sawyer again leaves it with Olsen. And Olsen's pass knocked away by Segrist, but he goes to get it again himself. Luke's still with it. Backing out to center circle. 10 on the shot clock. Olsen got some space. Now he'll leave it with Simmental driving right elbow. Shot is up. It will not go. J.D. Green up high for the rebound. Simmental 0 for 3 so far. I like what I'm seeing, but the one thing as a Governor fan that I really hope we see is higher shot percentages. They have had their struggles shooting the basketball last year. And I guess we can say a little bit so far this year is a nice entry pass inside Brooks with a pump fake, gets it to go. As Caleb has his second field goal, 6 points overall, 15-10. Stevens has led throughout, except for one 4-4 tie. 6 minutes to play in the second quarter. Olsen to Simmental. He'll get around Brooks. Spins. Shot is up and good. There you go. Eladio, first basket, up and down. 15-12. Govs back within 3. Nice move for Simmental. That's what I've liked watching him play the last couple of years. He does have the moves if he can just get the shots to fall. Here's a 3 from the right side for Segrist. That's no good. It bounds off the rim and then straight up, and it hits some of the support cabling. And that'll be ruled out of bounds, and the Governors will get it. Simmental checks out. Dawson Getz, who had 2 early fouls, checking in for the Governors. And we also see Sutton Sonnenschein on for the first time, the 5'10 sophomore. Sutton had it to Getz, right wing. Dawson, of course, a 3-point specialist, and I'm sure Governor opponents are going to know that, but here it is, Sawyer Sonnenschein trying for 3. Rebound will be pulled down by the Raiders, though, as Segrist comes down with it. Nobody's hit a 3 yet in this game in 7 tries. 5 of those tries, though, for Rapid City Stevens. 5 minutes to play. This is Segrist spinning at the free throw line. Fumbled the dribble, picks it back up, and he'll put it back in. His first field goal, he has 4 points, and it's 17-12. The lead grows to 5 again. Stop and go for Olsen. Floater won't find its way down this time. Paw with the rebound. He'll send it up ahead to Christensen. And Jess Christensen gets up and gets a little baby jam to go. His first field goal. Stevens now has their biggest lead at 7. It's 19-12. Here's a crossover for Austin. He'll drive and score. Pretty move for Corday Austin. 3 for 3 on the floor. He has 6 points. 3 for 3 from inside the arc, I should say. He did miss one from outside in the first quarter. 19-14. Stevens by a handful. Here's J.D. Green for 3. That one will not fall. Getz will run it down on the backside. And Getz quickly across the timeline. He'll get a hip check. And a foul that'll go to J.D. Green. And that'll send the Governors to the sideline to inbound. Foul on the floor. Only their second foul of the entire game, but their first in the second period as a team. Inbounding coming from Luke Olsen. He'll get it into Getz. Right there with him is Segrist, though. Getz drives to the left block, and the spin move, shot up, will not go. It's a little bit short. Down to Green, and here come the Raiders again. Rapid City getting an awful lot of rebounds so far here in this first half of play. They lead 19-14. Segrist fakes 3, gets it to Green, right wing. He'll drive, kick out to Paw, and Seth Paw no good. Loose basketball, and Sonnenschein gets there to take it away. Governors will head back the other way. This is Sutton Sonnenschein for 3, and the first one is up and good. Sutton Sonnenschein's first varsity basket, and the Governors cut it down to 2. 19-17. Stevens across against the pressure. 2-3 zone for Pierre. For now, here's a high pass taken by Brandon Solik near the Governor bench. Problem is he wears stripes, and that's out of bounds. Turnover number 6 for Rapid City Stevens. Minka Hawley has been out for a bit, but he'll check in now with 3:10 to play in the second quarter. 12-8 Rapid City Stevens at the end of one. 19-17, a 2-point lead right now. 5 in a row scored by the Govs as they look to add on to that little flurry. Here's Austin to Getz, and it's up and good. Dawson Getz with a 14-footer inside the right elbow, and a timeout to be taken by Chris Stabner and the Stevens Raiders as the Governors have run off 7 in a row. Timeouts on our broadcast are brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. We'll take it with them. This is a full timeout, 1 minute aside in a 19-19 tie. You're listening to Pierre Governor Basketball.
Stay in a beautiful Black Hills vacation home, The Summit on Dancing Sky near Leeds, South Dakota, in the popular Powder House Pass development. It's a modern rustic design with over 5,000 square feet, 6 bedrooms, and 5 baths for you to enjoy. You'll get gorgeous views of the Terry Peak Mountain Range. There's a community pool to enjoy, and you're close to all the attractions like Deadwood, Sturgis, Spearfish, and a whole lot more. The Summit on Dancing Sky. Visit them at DancingSky.com.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Governor basketball so far a good time here at Riggs High Gym. 19-19. Pierre scoring the last 7 points here in the second quarter to tie it up, prompting Stevens to call their first timeout of the night. We're under 3 minutes to go, quarter number 1. Ryan Oakland, glad to have you with us. Looking forward to a lot of good things, I think, from maybe both of these teams this season. Here are the Raiders breaking pressure, and a three-point attempt is up, but wave it off. It didn't fall anyway, but J.D. Green is called for a traveling violation. Little happy feet trying to set up to fire from distance. Here the Governors will have an opportunity to take their first lead of the ball game. We've had a couple of ties now. Right now, our second one, 19-19. Sun and shine across the timeline. Sawyer over to Luke Olson, near side, right wing. Sonny falls down. Meanwhile, Olson gets it to Austin down in the corner, but he'll drive, and he has his pocket pick by Minka Hawley. Hawley goes the distance among Governor defenders, and that has Hawley showing his worth and his ability to handle the basketball. Now Hawley defending against Olson. Olson trying to drive, but in a little hesitation, Hawley gets a hand on it and knocks it out of bounds. Olson, however, the last to touch, and that's back-to-back turnovers for Pierre. 5 in the game for the Governors, 21-19 Stevens. As they'll look to add to that small lead. Green coming left to right to the far side, leaves it with Segrist, fakes, gets to fly by Segrist, then fires a three. No good, but it's Jess Christensen flying in for the rebound. He'll kick out. Green wants 3. That ricochets off the side, and Austin can't handle the next rebound. And it once again will stay with Rapid City Stevens. Still leading by 2, now 1:52 to play here in quarter number 2. Stevens, those 4 corners on the box in the inbound, but as Brooks tries to get it across to Christensen, he fumbles that. Now up ahead, and it's Dawson gets from the corner. 3 ball down. As the Governors have hit a pair of bombs here in the second quarter. Now Pierre with their first lead, 22-21, and a chance to slam denied. Jess Christensen trying to get up there, but Simmental gets up and blocks it. The Governor fans don't really agree with the call. Mike Kirkeby says, yep, he got him with the body. A great defensive effort here by Eladio Simmental, unfortunately picking up his second personal foul. I'm sure there was probably a foul, but the Governor fans just wanted to see a slam dunk denied. Meanwhile, Christensen misses on the front end of a 2-shot opportunity. We've got 90 seconds to go here in our second period, 22-21 Governors. Christensen tries to pull it even. He'll go off the glass just like I do at Chuck E. Cheese, and it is in. Now you get a good rotation, kiss it off the square, it'll fall every time. Tied again here now, 22-22. Governors will sub. Simmental is out with his second personal. Caden Ahart's back in, the 6'2 sophomore. All deuces on the scoreboard. A pair of 22s up there with a 1:20 to play here in the second quarter. Good ball game so far. These two teams proved to be pretty evenly matched last year to start the season. More of the same here at Riggs tonight. Here is Olsen waiting for Getz to cut, and Dawson will take it and score. Dawson has scored the last 7 points for the Govs. They lead again, 24-22. Final minute here in the first half of play. Spin move for Brooks in the lane. Left-hander will not go, and it is Austin up there to get the rebound off of the miss. His kick out is knocked away by Green. Good catch by Mr. Charlie Sizer. Luke Olsen will take the inbound. Charlie, his granddaddy. 24-22. Governors will look to add to their lead now, trying to get some more momentum heading into the halftime locker room break. 35 seconds on the game clock, now down to 16 on the shot clock. Olsen fakes, drop baseline, kicks out to Austin for three, and it's good! Corday Austin gives the Governors a 5-point advantage. Nope, they called it a 2. 26-22 is what it is on the scoreboard. And we've got a traveling violation called on Hawley. Coming from the left corner. And we've got a whistle. We've got substitutions coming in once again here. Brooks checking out. Christensen, who's played well, back in. Also coming out, Dylan Szymanski. Nope, he'll stay in there. And Brooks stays in there. Chris Davener saying, no, I don't want you off. I want I want this guy, and I want this guy. Meanwhile, it looks like the starting 5 is all in there for Rapid City Stevens. 15 seconds to go. Shot clock off. The Govs will try for one last shot, as they've had a great second quarter here. Olsen, backdoor cut, gets too far under the basket. Kick out, Sonnenschein. No, it's in and out. No good from three-point range. Hawley will rebound. No time to do anything with it. Our first half comes to an end, and a great second period, as mentioned, for the Pierre Governors on their home court, as they will outscore Rapid City Stevens 18-10. And on our Gales Gas Service scoreboard, the Governors lead at intermission 26-22. Scoreboard from Gales Gas Service in Pierre, and halftime sponsored by Wealth Partners, Ameriprise Financial in the Capitol Creek Center Plaza on East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. We're back in 3 minutes to recap a fun first half of play here. Pierre Governor Basketball and your official home of the Govs, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
Ameriprise Advisor.
Getting ready to head out to the game or getting back afterwards? DJ Senix is a must before or after your travels. DJ Senix has a great selection of hot and cold snacks. They're second to none for your choice of hot or cold beverages too. And when you're heading out, be sure to fuel up with quality from the pumps at DJ's with 3 different grades. Back late? No problem. DJ's features pay at the pump convenience 24 hours a day. DJ Senix, 507 West Sioux in Pierre. Your choice for quality service and selection.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
With our new online loan application, you can go to our website and apply for a loan when it's most convenient for you. We make getting loan approval fast and easy. Our local lenders are available to assist you if you have any questions. We make it pain-free to get that loan you've been wanting. We're an equal housing lender. Hawaii Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union since 1955. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hello, this is Charlie Grossberg from Grossberg Implement. I'd like to take a moment to extend a warm and heartfelt Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all our loyal customers, hardworking employees, and the incredible community of Winter and the surrounding areas. From our family to yours, may your holiday season be filled with warmth and love of family and friends. Thank you for your continued trust and support. We look forward to serving you in
2025 and beyond.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your team or reach the region and state. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Todd Sandel today and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
What if we said a bank isn't a place to lock up money? It's a place to set it free. What if the point of banking wasn't to bank at all, but to put your ideas to work? What if your bank asked, what if, a little more? Well, what if we told you we do? We're American Bank and Trust, where what if meets why not? If you're ready to change what you get out of banking, start a relationship with us. What if you made the move today?
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people...
The Govs hit one from Sutton Sonnenschein. They got another one from Dawson Getz, and they got what appeared to be another one from Corday Austin, but Corday's toe was ruled to be on the arc, and the Governors end up going 8 out of 13 on the floor in that second half. 4 of 11 in the first, so they're 20, making 12 out of 24 overall. 50% on the first half, 2 out of 5 from outside the arc, and Corday Austin, the 6'3 junior, leads Pierre with 8 points. Dawson, yes, did score the last 7 points of the quarter and of the half. He'll finish with 7 points or take 7 into the break. And then 4 points for Luke Olson in the first half. Sutton Sonnenschein with that big 3-pointer. Eladio Simmental with 2, and Lincoln Dilgis off the bench with 2 for the Governors. For Rapid City Stevens, after a 4 of 9 effort on the floor in the first period, they go 4 of 12, cooling off a bit, especially in the second half of the second quarter, and they'll be 8 of 21 on the floor overall, but 0 out of 9 from long distance for Rapid City Stevens. They've gotten to the free throw line where the Governors have not. Stevens is 6 of 8 so far from the stripe. Kalen Brooks leads with 6 points, and then 4 players all with 4 points each for Rapid City Stevens. J.D. Green, Minka Hawley, Daylor Segrist, and Jess Christensen, all with 4 apiece. And I'll tell you what, if you're the Governors and you're holding guys like Hawley and Segrist to 4 points apiece, that's a pretty good job defensively so far, in my opinion. Rebounding, though, Stevens does have the advantage, 14-8 overall, 3-1 on the offensive end. Hawley leads with 4 rebounds for the Raiders. Luke Olson has 3, the most for any of the Governors. Pierre with just 5 turnovers in that first half. Stevens with 9, and maybe the fast-paced style of play and the in-your-face style from the Governors defensively causing some of those issues. Pierre has a 7-3 advantage in the assist column as well, and Olson with 5 of those 7 assists, helping Pierre to a 26-22 lead here at the half. Let's take a 3-minute break, and we're back with more Pierre Governor basketball at halftime. Governor Ball on River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
When you're thinking of a new or used car, motorcycle, pickup, or RV, think of us. We make all sorts of vehicle loans. We can set you up with payments that fit your budget. So if you have getting some new wheels in mind, stop by and see us. We'll get you the right loan. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. We're big on you.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
When you're in the need for high-quality replacement auto parts, look no further than Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop in Pierre. Zander's has been servicing the Pierre area for over 40 years. Their professional parts techs can get you the part you need and get you back on the road. Stop by Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop at 500 West Sioux in Pierre or call 224-9221. Zander's, your source for domestic and foreign auto parts and accessories.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
At Ringneck Energy, their mission is to produce renewable energy that adds value to grain and livestock production, enhances the income of their investor partners, and provide a safe, rewarding work environment. Located at 901 Redwood Avenue in Oneida, South Dakota. Call 605-945-6900 or check ringneckenergy.com. A proud supporter of local schools and wishes all students the best of luck in all their activities during the school year, creating economic opportunities in our community.
Ready to gain an edge in your career? Tide Machinery's Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Tide Machinery, Highmore, Miller, and Pierre, your local Case IH dealer. Visit TitanMachinery.com/careers to learn more.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money. Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box.
Rapid City Stevens 26-22. Other boys scores that we can report on so far have Aberdeen Central leading Rapid City Central up in Aberdeen by 10, 36-26. O'Gorman leading Brandon Valley 29-24. That game at halftime as well. There are several games happening tonight, but most of them in boys action are back halves of a girls and boys doubleheader. So we'll check the girls scores. Of course, girls for the Governors are out in Rapid City tonight, and we'll start a little bit later on. In fact, Justin Coward's pregame on KGFX may be just getting underway. Sioux Falls Roosevelt has beaten Sioux Falls Jefferson 44-42. Washington, no trouble so far with Sioux Falls Lincoln 56-28 in the third. Spearfish has beaten Bellefouche 64-43. Huron leads T-Area in the fourth 39-26. Watertown about to close out a victory over Brookings. They lead 44-28 with a minute to go. Governors a week from tonight. Governor girls will be playing Sturgis, but the Sturgis Lady Scoopers having trouble with Custer tonight, 23-12. Close, well, just into the second quarter. Mitchell is hosting Vermilion tonight, 25-13. It's Vermilion, the number one team in Class A, leading the Colonel girls. I didn't have that one on my schedule for tonight to report earlier, but that one has Vermilion leading there. Once again here, 26-22. One last check on Rapid City Invitational Wrestling updates, and the Pierre Governor boys are now in fourth place behind Sturgis, Aberdeen, and Brookings. Stevens is in fifth, and in the girls' ranks, it is Canton with 84.5 points. Pierre next at 80.5, a 4-point differential there. We're into the second half. The Governors with the first possession, and it is brought to you by Comtech, your communication and electronic sales and service dealer on the bottom of the truck bypass in Pierre. First shot from Sawyer Sonnenschein, 15-footer off the right side, but he comes up short. And the rebound knocked away and out of bounds off of Pierre. Rapid City Stevens will have their first possession of the third quarter. Stevens in royal blue with the white numbers, silver trim, now moving from left to right as you watch this one at drgnews.com or on your DRG News app, the River 92.7 page. You can see it also at gogovs.live. Thanks to Brian Menning for manning the camera for live ticket tonight. First three-point attempt here. No good for J.D. Green, but a long rebound down to Minka Hawley. And now we've got a whistle and a foul as Luke Olson came up with the loose basketball. And Chess Christensen, who starts the second half for Stevens, guilty of the fouls. The Govs start with another takeaway. Stevens with their 10th turnover of the contest. Luke Olson, Eladio Simmental, Sawyer Sonnenschein, Dawson Getz, the four seniors, along with Corday Austin, the starting five. Austin, the junior. Here's Olson with a hesitation. Floater up, no good. No, he gets his own rebound, then kicks out to Simmental. Simmental looking for three. That won't go, but Sawyer Sonnenschein is pushed away from a chance at an offensive rebound. In fact, I'm going to give it to him. as he is fouled. Not in the act of shooting. Foul this time is J.D. Green, and that they say that's his first. I already had him with one, but second team foul for Stevens here in the third quarter. Now Olsen driving, and Hawley blocks him emphatically from behind. Luke, with a smile on his face, probably thought there was a foul, and he gets a low 5 from Hawley. I think Hawley thought he was the whistle was going to be against him as well. Meanwhile, the Governors still with it. Plenty of time on the shot clock. As Olsen inbounds, Governors now moving from right to left as you watch this one on the webcast. Simmental underneath, and no, he's called for a travel on a nice pivot move, or so I thought. So Stevens will get it back. Just the sixth turnover of the game for Pierre. A minute and a half gone by. No scoring in the third quarter yet. It's still 26-22 Governors. Here is Daylor Segrist along with Minka Hawley. Jess Christensen out there starting again, along with Caleb Brooks. And Seth Paugh, who has it now, also started the quarter, or at least got in there quickly. The entry pass to the elbow to Christensen is interrupted by Sonnenschein, and Sawyer will pick up his first personal foul. First as a team for the Govs in the third quarter. Segrist takes the inbound and the reset of the shot clock. At the same time, Segrist gets it back, fires a three. They still can't hit one, though. It is Austin up with the rebound. Down with it quickly up ahead. Austin wants two. He won't get the layup, but he is blocked and fouled by Caleb Brooks. And so far, fouls starting to become a minor issue for Rapid City Stevens. Early in the third quarter, 2 minutes in, 3 team fouls already. It'll be Corday Austin, a game high 8 points at the free throw line. As he'll eye the mark. This is the first free throw attempt of the night for the Governors, and Austin is able to put it home. 1 down, 1 to go. Simmental will actually get some, I thought he was coming out, but he's just getting some instruction from assistant coach Brevin Kaiser. Austin, a few dribbles, and now puts his second attempt up. He takes his time at the line, but he's 2 for 2, and the Govs will take that. Here with their biggest lead at 6, 28-22. And Olsen comes in, takes the dribble away from Hawley, leads the break. Olsen leaning in, offensive foul called. It's taken by Brooks. Caleb Brooks, well, he might have been backing off just a little bit, but Luke Olsen is called for the offensive. And his first personal, that'll be a turnover on the Governors. Still 28-22. Tell you what, players, if you really want to go in strong, you really have to kind of go in strong but pull up and just kiss one off the glass, because those defenders, they're trying to sell a charge every chance they get. That's been the trend in this game for the last several years running. Here's a pass kicked out of bounds by Dawson Getz. Stevens will inbound from the near side right in front of the festive Governor student body. Ugly sweater night. They've done a pretty good job. I actually do not own an ugly sweater. They're all pretty. Actually, I only own about one sweater in my whole wardrobe. Meanwhile, here's a travel as Hawley put a 3 up and in, but he's dragged his pivot foot. And Chris Stabner will ask for a timeout off of turnover number 11 for Rapid City Stevens. 5:17 to play. We're in the third quarter. Just a 2-0 advantage since halftime in favor of the Governors. They lead 28-22. We're back in 60 seconds with this Coca-Cola timeout. You're listening to Pierre Governor Basketball.
Wagner Auto Care. The best Western Ramkota Hotel in Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota offers sports and family-friendly rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods, such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press.
Back at Riggs High, third quarter, second timeout spent by Rapid City Stevens. Their offense has slowed a little bit here, as mentioned. A kind of a rough start, or rough end to the first half, slow start to the second half. Here's a pass from Getz from Olson. Dawson trying to put a little 10-footer on the run up, no good. Comes up short. Caleb Brooks down with the rebound. Caleb looking to drive the distance. Dawson comes back and makes the defensive play, swatting the shot attempt out of bounds, and Stevens will inbound under the basket. Inbound comes to Jess Christensen. One dribble and a left-handed bunny put up and in, fed by Naylor Segrist. Christensen's second field goal with 6 points overall. Stevens back within 4. 28-24. Olson will feed to Dawson Getz on the near side. Now back to Luke Olson. He's got space. He'll fire an NBA range 3, but he'll miss it well short. And it is Sonnenschein who can't save it from going out of bounds. Sawyer will check out. Carter Schuffelbein, 5'10 sophomore, the first sub for Pierre here in the second half. 28-24. 4:33 to play, third quarter. Here showing pressure. Stevens a few passes. They get it across half court. And they'll set it up. Here's Sags back in the 2-3. Segrist underneath to Christensen. He kicks it out. Seth Paw. Now to Minka Hawley. He finds a spot in front of the free throw line, but the shot no good. And Olson is there for another rebound. Luke ball hawking tonight. Simmental with it, and he'll drive, but he will be fouled. Chris Long with the signal here. Chris Long, Brandon Solik, Mike Kirkeby. Once again, our law on the court. Game officials this evening. Foul this time for Stevens goes to Brooks, and that's his second personal. Team foul number 4 in the quarter. One more by Stevens with 4:07 to go would put the Governors to the line for the rest of this third period of play. Lob pass, and it's going to Olson, but it's interrupted by Hawley. And now Hawley, who stops, is run up from behind by Simmental. Simmental knocks him down, picks him back up. Eladio will pick up his third personal foul. Minka Hawley with the steal to set this opportunity up. 4:03 to go in the quarter. Still a 4-point lead and only a 2-2 scoring edge. Well, scoring total for both teams in this third quarter. Hawley unable to get the first one down. His first attempt of the night is off the front rim. Corday Austin in for Eladio Simmental. If you missed it earlier, Austin got up and put the first basket of the game down by way of the slam dunk, the first one the Govs have had since the 2022-2023 season, when they had about 72 of them. Second free throw, no good. Lincoln Dilgis with a rebound. Now as Olson brings it across the timeline, he is interrupted by Segrist. Loose ball into the backcourt, and it is Stevens basketball. So Segrist with the quick hands. And Stevens will try to cut into a 4-point deficit. Here led by 6 after scoring the first basket of the third period. But again, scoring has slowed. Here is Hawley spinning against Olson. He'll dump it off, still top of the key. Now Brooks looks to drive around Dilgis and they'll wave it off. This foul is on the floor, even though Brooks made a strong move and made a would-be layup. Lincoln Dilgis with his second personal foul. And now Pierre with 4 team fouls in the quarter. Still 3.5 minutes to play in the period. Olson checks out. It's Sonnenschein back in. Segrist looking to inbound. Finds Brooks on the cut, but he dribbles, and it's taken away by Sonnenschein. He dribbled the basketball right in to the waiting arms of Sawyer Sonnenschein, who gets the steal, and then Brooks, in trying to get it back, guilty of a foul. I think that was one of those where the cutter in this case, or sometimes you get the entry pass. You don't need that dribble. You just need a strong move, and that might have been better off in this case for Caleb Brooks. Sonnenschein in the bonus, and of course all bonuses are 2-shot opportunities. Sawyer, though, off the front end on the first one. There are no more 1-and-1s as of last year in high school basketball. So Brooks checks out with his third personal foul. Dalton Szymanski is 6'2" senior, checking in for the first time tonight, looking for a rebound, won't need it, as Sawyer Sonnenschein puts the second free throw down. Sawyer with his first point of the game. 29-24, Pierre by 5 as they trap the basketball at the top of the key, but the pass comes away, and on the drive, Seth Paugh will miss. It's picked off by Dawson Getz. Getz up ahead to Dilges. Now back to Getz, and Pierre will slow it up in the half court. Shufflebind to Corday Austin. Right wing with it as we approach the 3-minute mark of quarter number 3. Shufflebind to Sonnenschein again. 15 on the shot clock. Shufflebind has it back, wants to drive in between two defenders, puts a prayer up. I thought he thought he got reached in upon. He may very well have, but Hawley down with the loose basketball. He leads it up ahead to Segrist. Segrist adjusts, misses the layup, got his own rebound, can't get the putback, and then Sonnenschein is down with it. The Raiders go 0 for 2 on that golden opportunity, and now Brianna Kuzler will take her first timeout of this ball game. With 2:32 to play, a Coca-Cola break in the action. Timeouts brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. We'll get a station break in and a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Pierre Governor Basketball.
This holiday season.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal
Office of Highway Safety, River 92.7, KGFX FM, Pierre. Leave sooner, drive slower, live longer.
First timeout used by the Pierre Governors tonight. They've got the 5-point advantage, 29-24. They led 26-22 at halftime, but we've got 2.5 minutes to play here in quarter number 3. Brian Oakland with play-by-play. Glad to have you back. Here's Dill just looking for Olsen underneath. Led him too far. Olsen with the out-of-bounds save. Back to Dilges, who misses. Then Dawson Getz comes up with the pass that was tipped. Getz on the drive is then fouled. So Pierre with a second chance opportunity here, and Dawson will go to the free throw line. The hustle of the Governors has been, I think, one of the big deciding factors in this game so far. Jess Christensen coming up with his third personal foul. He'll have to check out. Dylan Szymanski, the starting post player, is in after the first free throw, but Getz misses that one. He'll try another to give Pierre a 6-point lead back, and that one is down. Dawson's first point of the second half. He has 8 total, 30-24. Pierre by a half a dozen with 2:15 and counting in the third. Near side, they'll bring it up. Dalton Szymanski underneath. And Governors get a tip of a pass, but Hawley picks it up. Now to Seth Paugh. Now to Szymanski. Now Hawley again, left side, top of the key, directing traffic from there. Here is Segrist. Szymanski from the left elbow to brother Dylan underneath. No, it's picked off by Lincoln Dilges. Dilges up ahead. Austin inside the arc, short on a 16-footer. Up in the air, tried to bounce it off the body of Seth Paugh to get it back out of bounds, but that's no good. And now a loose basketball, and all the Pierre bench thinks it's going to the Governors, but it'll stay with Rapid City Stevens. Governors unable to hit some mid-range jumpers tonight, which obviously kind of a lost art. Everybody wants to shoot the three-pointers. The mid-range ones are the ones that can really... as they stuck to their man-to-man assignments, but Now the Governors bring it across the timeline. Olsen splitting defenders. He is fouled. The Stevens foul numbers continue to climb here, and Olsen going up into the former stage area underneath. Runs into a couple of young ladies who just seem to be kind of enamored that one of these stud basketball players gave him a little fist bump. So kind of neat to see. This actually is going to be Meet the Governors night after this ball game, when everybody can meet the new cast of characters for Pierre. Here, Luke Olsen missing the front end of a 1-and-1. Dylan Zamansky has his first personal. And the second one is good for Luke. Ole with 5, and the Governors lead by 7 for the first time tonight. 31-24, 1:05 to play, third quarter. Segrist from Hawley across the timeline. Segrist setting it up. Hawley on the right side, splitting defenders. Nope, we've got another reach foul. Sonnenschein called this time. And that'll put Stevens in the bonus here for the last minute of the third period. Hawley will step to the free throw line. He's been held to just 4 points so far, scoreless in the second half. Great job defensively put up by the Govs against maybe, arguably, the best player on that Stevens squad. But Minka will get the first one to go here. New player coming in for Rapid City Stevens for the first time, Lucas Marcus, a 6'1 sophomore. He will check in for Dylan Szymanski, so a smaller, quicker lineup coming for the Raiders. I think Dylan Szymanski not too pleased that he is being asked to check out of the game. Hawley's second free throw is good. He was 0 for 2 on his first trip, 2 for 2 this time. The lead cut back to 5. Pierre leading 31-26, and Olsen pushing the issue up the floor as Dalton Szymanski tries to stay with him. But a hip check is called, and Luke will go to the free throw line again. Not Szymanski, but it is Segrist with his second personal. And again, both teams in the quarter bonus. Olsen 1 for 2 a moment ago. First one here off the front of the rim. Governors have, right now, are setting at about 5 for 9 from the free throw line. All attempts here in this third quarter. Second one for Luke is good. He has 6, and that's the difference. 32-26, 50 seconds to go. Third period. Lucas Marcus had it at half court, gets it back. Segrist breaks the pressure, and he drives the distance, lays it up and in. He gets a foul, and he'll get an and one opportunity. Tough play, but a good one at that for Daylor Segrist. And Caden Aharts is called for the foul. Segrist can cut a 6-point deficit in half if he gets the freebie to fall. 2 dribbles, shot is up, shot is good. Stevens has been shooting very well from the free throw line tonight. We've got a 32-29 ball game. Segrist checking out. J.D. Green, starting guard, back in. This one you can tell pretty much game number 1. Why not? Going to go all the way down to the wire as Olsen drives. He goes the distance off of the inbound. Faked the pass, but he went up with it. Stevens, after being whistled for a number of fouls in this third period, probably got a little tentative defensively. Here is Szymanski. Dalton feeds on the baseline penetration, and a block shot for Luke Olsen, denying Lucas Marcus. Olsen up ahead, and it's Corday Austin. He is fed, I believe, by Sonnenschein. Austin went up with 2 hands. He couldn't quite get the jam this time. But the Governors with a flurry to close out the quarter. Hawley will fire a 3 for the finish. No good. And we will go to quarter number 4 as the Governors up their lead to 7. Your score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, 36-29. Pierre, who led by 4 at halftime, leads by 7 with 8 minutes to go. We will take a 60-second break, and we go to quarter number 4 next. You're listening to Pierre Governor Basketball and your official home of the Govs, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
With medical...
Wow, Bill, you're walking so much better. What did you do?
Well, I got so tired of the pain and nearly fell. And one of my friends recommended physical therapy at Winter Physical Therapy. And you know what? My back also stopped hurting.
Huh. So how did you get started?
My doctor wrote me a referral, but that's not always needed. Turns out you always have a choice where you want to go.
So why did you choose Winter Physical Therapy?
I love to support our locally owned small businesses, and quite frankly, they give great personalized care.
Winter Physical Therapy. Exceptional care.
That moment when you realize your furnace is stone cold busted. We're talking a real put on every sweater you own, I can't feel my feet, penguin predicament. But fear not, there's an expert for that.
Let your local heating experts at Pites Service Experts keep you warm with $50 off any furnace repair.
Like it toasty? There's an expert for that.
Call Pites Service Experts at 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box.
Back to Riggs High Gym. Governors go to the fourth with a 36-29 lead as they outscored Stevens 10-7 in that third stanza. Pierre took the lead in the second period with an 18-10 advantage, and they advance that now to 7, their biggest lead of the night, which has been matched. Starting for the Governors as Simmental gets a man in the air. He spins and then leans in. Finger roll is up and good. Eladio Simmental with his second bucket, 38-29. Biggest lead of the night now for the Governors. Brooks behind the back. Lost it, but he picks it back up. He spins and puts a nice layup home. Stevens responds, and we've got a 7-point game again. Quarter number 4. Simmental gets around a defender. Now up in the air. Hang time. It finds its way down. Simmental good. First 4 of the quarter for the Governors to Eladio. 40-31. Stevens across the timeline. Brooks on the move. Strong up with it. And Simmental is there to defend or deny, but there is a foul, and Eladio is going to be guilty of his 4th personal. Caleb Brooks will walk to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Thing about the Governors this year, they've gone probably 4 or 5 deep to their bench, and if they happen to lose Simmental here to foul trouble, in fact, Brianna Kuzler are going to keep him in for now after the first free throw put down by Brooks. But she likes what they've got, probably 9 or 10 deep to the bench. Brooks' second free throw, too much on that one off the back of the rim. There is Austin coming in from behind to get the rebound. Here by 8, first minute gone by in the fourth. Olsen looking to drive, count it. It's good with the left hand and the foul. And Luke Olsen will head to the free throw line for a chance at one more. And a timeout to be taken here by Stevens before said Freebie with 6:59 to play in the fourth. The Governors have opened up a 10-point lead for the first time tonight. We'll take a 60-second break. This Coca-Cola break in the action. We're back in 1 minute. This is Governor Basketball.
Taking care of your... For over 70 years, Pitt's Design Build has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitt's Design Build is conveniently located in Pierre, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing. Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union.
With a left-handed reverse layup plus the foul that was whistled on Daylor Segrist, his 3rd personal. Back to the free throw line out of the Coke break is Olsen to finish off the 3-point play, and it's good. Luke with a fine-looking second half. So far, he had 4 points at intermission, but he's got 7 so far here since halftime. And the Governors lead 43-32. And as Olson's scoring goes, seemingly go the lead for the Govs. Olson with 11, and that's the difference. Here is Segrist. Fake it the three down to the left corner. Back to J.D. Green. The Governor defense is all over the place, and there's Dawson Getz picking off a pass in the lane. And a whistle on the way up. The Governors are going to lose it. As I was looking on my stat sheet, I didn't see what the call was. Might have been a carry or something to that magnitude. Maybe even a travel on Dawson Getz. They'll inbound from underneath the basket. Will Stevens. That is turnover number 10 for the Govs tonight. All in all, at this juncture of the game, not a bad number for the first game of the season. The inbound goes to the backcourt, run down by Brooks. It was touched by anybody. It was touched by the Govs. Meanwhile, here comes Hawley. He gets around Ahart's nice drive. Minka Hawley. We haven't seen that near enough for Rapid City Stevens' sake here this evening. But Minka Hawley shows his worth and what he's capable of. Kind of a Luke Olson type play right there. 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. The lead is 9 for Pierre at 43-34. Here's Sonnenschein. Hawley tips the pass right back to Sonnenschein. He'll kick it out. And Luke Olson drains a big one. 3 ball down, the lead to 12, 46-34. Across the timeline for the Raiders. Here's Hawley. And again, around Ahart's, but he's got an elbow to the back of Hawley. Kind of a soft foul, but by definition, a foul nonetheless. And a foul on the floor for Ahart's that did negate a Hawley layup, which he did put up and in. The inbound on Ahart's second personal. Here's Brooks. Strong move, but it's off the glass and rimming in and out, no good. There's Olson for the Pierre rebound. Brooks with 9 points, one of the leaders for Stevens tonight, 46-34. In fact, he is the leader scoring-wise. There's a pass that gets away, picked off by Hawley. Now Minka left to right across the timeline, stutter steps and backs it back out. Picks the dribble up, he'll find J.D. Green. On the near side, Green backing in against Getz, drives to the baseline. There's Jess Christensen, nice pass. J.D. Green, Christensen with the finish. Stevens back within 10 at 46-36, under 5 minutes to play, 4:45 and counting now. Olson against Segrist, and a blocking foul called here. Not Segrist, but Green. Green falling away, and sure, there was contact there. I don't know if you have to call a foul on that one, but Green with his third, make it his second personal. Olson, the inbound, too tall for Austin, but there's Simmental, jumper from the right elbow. He had to double pump it, and Hawley still got a hand on it, but Simmental picks it back. Governors with it on the top of the key. And now Olson will lose it. Segrist, he goes the distance, but it's up no good. And there is Austin for the rebound. Olson with just enough of an interruption. Now Austin takes the pass from the side in the lane, and Brooks ends up on the floor, and they'll call Corday Austin for an offensive foul. And that's just a bang-bang play. Nothing Corday could do. But still, missed opportunities for Rapid City Stevens, especially on the miss of that layup. Coming up empty. They still trail 46-36, 4:10 to go, fourth quarter. Here's defense trying to continue to dictate things here as they stay in the zone. Top of the key, it's Hawley. Entry into Christensen, back to Minka. He'll drive this time into traffic, and we've got a jump ball. He got tied up by Dawson Getz. The possession arrow stays with the Raiders. Stoppage of play will allow Sonnenschein to come back in. Sawyer in. Caden Ahart's out. And the shot clock stays as is for Stevens with only 11 off of the inbound from underneath. On the right side of the key, they'll push it out. Segrist. So Hawley, Stevens will have to keep an eye on that shot clock. 7, 6, 5, counting down. Segrist fakes the three. There was Austin in the way. Segrist had to go the baseline. He put a prayer up. It's short, and Getz is down with the rebound. Governor defense doing the job again. Now Olson to set things up. To Getz. Back to Olson. 3:30 counting down fourth quarter. Olsen surveying a little bit. Stevens sagging off defensively. Now Olsen splitting defenders, and it was Segrist who interrupted that one. Olsen tried to reverse, but it's up no good. Segrist rebounds. Hawley wants 3. Stevens still can't buy a long one. They are 0 for 13 from long distance as this one misses from Hawley. 3:11 to go, but again, it's just nothing but nothing for Rapid City Stevens from outside the arc. Governors hit a couple of big ones in the second quarter. Here's BK asking for time. As Olsen crosses the timeline, the Governors will take a Coke break here. 3:07 to play. It's 46-36 Governors. 60-second timeout sponsored by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. We're back with more Pierre Governor basketball.
DRG Media Group Sports is the official voice of the Pierre Governors.
Knowles wants to run again, and he's got room. 40, 30, foot race to the 10, 5, and a touchdown. Pierre will come back and set up Avery Kaiser on the outside left through the block, and that's down.
The official voice of the Pierre Governors, River 92.7, and also at the River 92.7 page of the DRG News app, brought to you by Golden Buffalo and DRGnews.com.
Briggs Trucking and Construction in Fort Pierre provides quality freight transportation services, cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your next project.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box.
Back at Riggs High Gym, 10-point advantage for the Governors. Girls game doesn't appear to be have tipped off as of yet out in Rapid City, but new sports director Justin Coward will have the call on that one on KGFX, 1060 AM, 103.1 FM. A little bit later on, once we sign off of this one, you'll get more Governor basketball from the western half of the state. Out of the timeout, Governors with the basketball, but a Corday Austin pass almost taken away by Daylor Segrist. Can't run it down. As Pierre will get another inbound. See Dawson Getz has a nose plug. Might have taken a shot to the schnoz before that last timeout. 46-36 off of the inbound. Pierre has 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Olsen gets a screen, but he loses the dribble. Picked up by Segrist. Now Segrist and the Raiders the other way. Here's Hawley. He wants a jam, but with two hands he didn't get it. Says he was fouled on the way up. No good. And Olsen is down with the rebound. Then he hung on the rim for a little while. Jackson Edmond would be wondering why there was no whistle there. Meanwhile, here it is with Sonnenschein shooting from the free throw line. He might have been pushed out of the way a little bit. Shot no good. Raiders with the rebound. Segrist tries a three. That won't go, and we've got a tie-up on the floor, and it'll be Pierre basketball. Sawyer Sonnenschein looked like he was in a little bit of pain as that tie-up was coming, and I think his leg got rolled back underneath him. Coach Stabner going to ask for a timeout here, I believe. Nope, I thought. So another miss from long range by Stevens. And again, the possession arrow here off of that jump ball is Pierce. 2:06 to play. Got to hand it to the Governors tonight, especially defensively. Olsen cuts in front of Caleb Brooks. Caleb tries to get back and reach around, but he's called for the foul as he himself falling down. Brooks picks up his fourth personal. So he's got 4. Simmental for Pierre with 4. Otherwise, Jess Christensen and Segrist both with 3 for Stevens in somewhat foul trouble. Still a 10-point Governor lead, under 2 minutes to play. Getz takes the pass. Dangerous pass then to Simmental at the right elbow. Simmental trying to get the pass down to the cutter Getz, but it's knocked away out of bounds. Pierre will inbound again. Plenty of time in the possession with 21 on the shot clock. 1:47 says the clock. as we get the inbound here. Here's Olsen from Getz. 3-ball down. A little give and go as Olsen had the space. Luke Olsen now with 17 points, 13 in the second half. Segrist top of the key. The Governor lead is 13. Largest of the night. 49-36. Here's Brooks inside against Getz. Leaning in, forces it up, but he gets it to go. And a timeout will be taken now by the Raiders. 49-38. Our score, 30-second break taken by Stevens. This is a Coca-Cola break in the action. We're back in 30. This is Governor Basketball.
Graham Tire of Pierre is your premier hometown shop, specializing in tires to fit vehicles, from ATVs to large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at grahamtire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Pierre and surrounding communities' local activities.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe
Savings.
Well, so far, so good with a minute 19 to go. Welcome back to Riggs High Gym. The Governor lead is 11. They have the basketball. Stevens is trying to set some things up defensively to try to force some turnovers. They need more possessions. Do the Raiders. Dawson gets set to inbound out of that Coca-Cola timeout. He gets it into Luke Olsen. Luke Olsen around. Seth Paw defending. Crosses the timeline. Olsen will leave it with Austin in front of the Governor bench, and we'll have a foul on the floor. Stevens has one more that they'll have to commit if they want to put the Governors to the line. Jess Christensen called this time, although if Stevens really wanted to foul, they probably would have done it several seconds earlier. Christensen's fourth personal. Olsen takes the inbound on the other side of the time stripe. Crosses it again with a fresh shot clock. Olsen hesitates, kicks out. This is Ahart's for three, no good. Caught underneath by Dawson Getz. Getz turns around and the shot is up and good as Hawley falls down. And he might have twisted an ankle a little bit. Dawson Getz with the second chance basket. Governor lead at 13 again, and this one pretty much academic. The Governors are going to start with a first game victory. Segrist for three. Hey, Rapid City Stevens hits a long one. Their first one in 15 tries on the evening. 51-41, and a foul in the backcourt against Olsen, called on Jess Christensen, who will disqualify himself from this one. Personal foul number 5, and Olsen will go to the free throw line to shoot the bonus. Team foul number 5 as well for the Raiders with 28 seconds to play. Christensen didn't start this game, came off the bench, the 6'4 senior, but I think tonight he may have played his way into that starting lineup. He'll finish with 8 points. Kalen Brooks is going to check out. Minka Hawley also checking back out. So I think Chris Stabner going to concede defeat in this one as Dalton and Dylan Szymanski are in. Lucas Marcus on. Dalen Segrist will check out in place of Drayson Paulson, a 6'2 junior. Only starter left in there is J.D. Green. Olsen misses the first free throw this time. Second one for Luke is up and good. His 18th point with 14 of those coming since halftime. Stevens breaks the time barrier here. 23 seconds to go. We've got a kick of a pass here as Olsen kicks it back out. He and Brianna Kuzler sharing a smile about that. 22 seconds to play. Full post game coming up. Post game will be brought to you by Family Dental with offices in Pierre and Gettysburg. The big plays of the game. Here's a 3-ball up top by Marcus that is blocked by the Governors. And Ahart's down with it. The Governors will hold it for the last 10 seconds. And on your final scoreboard, Gales Gas Service scoreboard, the Pierre Governors start with a victory, something they did not do at Stevens a year ago. But tonight, starting in the midway through the second quarter, the Governors pretty much owned this one, especially defensively. They win it 52-41. The scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. Use their budget plan and keep full service to stay warm all season long with Gales Gas Service in Pierre. 52-41, your final. We'll pause for 3 minutes, and we go to our Family Dental post game when we return with more Pierre Governor basketball. Conversation with the head coach coming up. We mentioned big plays of the game and your player of the game, all part of your Family Dental post game. Lots to talk about and a good start for the Governors here at Riggs High Gym tonight. 3-minute break, and we're back with Pierre Governor basketball and your official home of the Govs, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
The team at
Scott Darnell with Lee Real Estate in Pierre is ready to help you find your dream home. There are 10 things you need to do to buy or sell your home. Number 1, call him at 605-220-2676, and he'll handle the other 9. As your resident realtor on a bike, he will make buying or selling your home feel like a walk in the park, not an Ironman triathlon. Find him on Facebook or email scott@LeeRealEstatePierre.com. Lee Real Estate and Scott are proud sponsors of Central South Dakota Youth Sports and Events broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet, or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
Olson Plumbing in Pierre provides complete plumbing and drain cleaning services to commercial and residential customers. Olson Plumbing understands how the simple things in life are often the things we can't live without, and running water is the top of the list. Olson Plumbing offers 24/7 emergency services, and they can be at your location in under an hour in most cases. If you need help with your plumbing system, call Olson Plumbing 605-224-6436.
You asked for it. Nonstop flights between Pierre and Minneapolis. Now you can book nonstop flights from Pierre to Minneapolis and Denver on Denver Air Connection. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets with fares starting at just $119 one way. Seats are limited and restrictions apply. Business, pleasure, a game, a winter getaway. It's easy when you fly from Pierre. Visit DenverAirConnection.com/Expedia to book your trip today. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Minneapolis flights begin November 30th.
In a world that's always moving, your journey matters. And at Iverson Auto Group, we're here to get you on the road with a great selection of new and used vehicles and trailers, and keep you on the road with top-notch service, maintenance, and support. Every mile of your journey, the experienced team at Iverson Auto in Mitchell and Huron are here to help. Visit us in Mitchell and Huron or start your search at iversonauto.com to begin your journey today.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box.
Back at Riggs High Gym, and a great start for the Pierre Governors tonight. Offensively, defensively, they put a lot of good things together, and already Coach Brianna Kuzler coming up to talk to us about it, but I'll let her catch her breath as we recap the quarter scoring. Pierre was trailing by 4 at 12-8 in that first period, but then about midway through the second quarter, the Governors hit a couple of threes and started that offensive run. They outscored the Raiders 18-10 in the quarter. They lead at halftime 26-22. A 10-7 advantage in the third period made it 36-29. Scoring was slowed, but the defense never slowed down, and then the scoring picked up again in that fourth quarter, and Pierre with a 16-12 advantage, an 11-point victory, biggest lead of 13 tonight, 52-41. The Govs are 1-0 And Stevens starts 0-1. Coach Brianna Kuzler, I mean, to tell you, I really didn't know what to expect. You're talking, a fast-paced game. And, I saw a lot of half-court offense tonight, but it was the defense that really was the fast-paced bunch I think that you were talking about. I see that obviously getting rebounds and takeaways part of the whole thing, too. And that's where you really had a good fast break game going, especially first half. All in all, just a lot of great things and a great way to start the season.
It really was. Early on, it's not like anybody was shooting at a high clip for them or us, but we settled in, but we didn't settle. And that was what I was most proud of. I think the entire game, we weren't settling for looks. We allowed our offense to get in position, get some reversals. It can, of course, improve. We're certainly not content with where things are at this point, but it was a great start, and a lot of guys that stepped up at various times, which was exciting. Guys that don't have varsity experience, and now they do. So no excuses from there on out. But there was a lot of really positive things that took place from a lot of different kids, and especially early on here. This is we kind of joke, but not joke about the fact that the team that makes the least amount of mistakes in these games, I mean, that goes for the whole season, but especially here, it's going to be a little ugly. People are rusty. The officials, they even said they're rusty. Sure. And that's, we're not all in prime shape at this point, which is to be expected with less than 2 weeks of practice under our belt. But it was the thing that I was most proud of, I think, was the response. You make a mistake, how are you going to respond to that and not allow those mistakes to compound? And that's what they did. I certainly wasn't expecting us to be in our 2-3 as much as we were, but it was working. Yeah. They were struggling in it. And I thought our guys did a great job of settling into and communicating where different guys were and forcing, again, dictating what they were doing and allowing our defense to play into our offense.
A couple of things. If I told you to start the season that I only have you for 12 turnovers, I think that's a pretty good number.
That is, yeah.
Pretty good number for the first game of the season. And if I tell you that Minka Hawley scores 8 points tonight, you're probably thinking you got a pretty good chance of win.
Absolutely. And that's just a great job. A lot of credit to our boys on that, their preparation and just their intention of following what the scouting report shows. As we kind of are relatively blind going into it. We know who are returners, which they had more than we had a little bit. And we knew that between Taylor Segrist, Minka Hawley, and a couple other guys, Kaleem Brooks, I thought that we did a good job of making things difficult for them, not allowing them to do what they wanted to do primarily, forcing them into those second choices of moves and shots and everything. And that's just, again, a credit to the boys on their preparation and being prepared mentally, physically. And they made the adjustments that were necessary, but also stayed true to what was working and didn't waver from that.
I want to focus on a couple of players individually, and Luke Olson's going to be the first guy. I mean, a kid that only had 4 points at halftime, but we see the scoring ability in places where it doesn't look like he's going to get those scoring opportunities, but he still finds a way to put points on the board against much bigger players. But I think it was, he mentioned Mr. Hawley. I think Luke was on the defensive assignment with him most of the night, and, he's the one that's really playing such great defense. Kind of an underrated defensive player, isn't he?
He is, and he just does a lot of things very, very well. He leads his teammates well through his voice, through his actions, and he's tasked with a big responsibility of being the quarterback on the court. And they were in his grill the entire night. There's going to be some turnovers there. We're going to live with some of that. He'll settle in. We'll get other guys to be able to take a little bit of pressure off as well. That's certainly something that we'll go back and look at and see where we can make some of those adjustments. But his composure, that's one thing that he really just has, that he conducts the floor, is that floor general for a lot of different people, and that composure, I think, is something that we're certainly going to need as we continue to add more and more kids to the mix that we would like to see out there, and kind of expediting that experience, because he is so composed out there and just contains himself. Then it's definitely a chain reaction for everybody else. But very proud of him. Having been a point guard, I know firsthand it stinks having somebody in your grill for 84, 94 feet here. And he does a good job of just staying true to what we expect. And a credit to his other teammates for being in the right positions, creating some angles. When he would break people down, they were prepared. That was something we talked about in the locker room. I didn't feel like in the first half we were ready to shoot, or ready to catch for that matter. It was just we were thinking ahead, but we weren't prepared to catch some things. So, but yes, Luke had a great game. He's one that we're going to need to be steady Eddie all year.
All right, and introduce us to Corday Austin. People who aren't watching the sub-varsity games necessarily may not know this kid, but when he comes out and gets a high fly and dunk, your first basket of the year, and suddenly I think that just really put a charge into the crowd. And this is a young man who's got some skills, I'm telling you.
Yes, he's a very skilled player. Is a student of the game right now. You can just tell he's just like a sponge. He's trying to retain as much information and again expedite that process of becoming an experienced varsity player, because that's what we're going to need sooner rather than later from a lot of kids. And I think you saw tonight that whoever we put in off of the bench was awesome. Their energy was great. Whether kids saw the floor or not, they were engaged from the tip off, and that's something that we're going to need, especially when we do sub a decent amount. We can't have any lapses offensively, defensively, and that starts with being engaged on the bench. But Corday, he's just an awesome kid who wants to be so good for himself, of course, but for his teammates. And he's more of a soft-spoken kid, but we've really seen him come out of his shell and be forced out of his comfort zone a little bit. But he's certainly capable of it, and we love what he's able to do. And as he continues to gain more confidence and our offense and defense start to, fine tune a little bit more than what they were. We certainly aren't peaking right now, which is just fine. But you're going to see him really, he can shoot the ball from the perimeter. He can take the ball off of the bounce. He's, and of course, we get some incredible dunks out of him as well. But yeah, it's fun to have some dunking back in the game.
Absolutely. So we'll look forward to more of that. We got a quick turnaround, and I think a quicker turnaround is a lot better when you're coming off of a W. Get Rapid City Central in here tomorrow, and that was a team that had their struggles last year, but still everybody is fresh into this season, and you've got to tackle that one just like you took care of business in this one.
Yeah, we'll be able to watch them. I haven't played Aberdeen Central tonight. I'm not sure how that one ended up, but we'll be able to now kind of have a little bit of film on them and see. They had a couple transfers in the off season, so that are going to be pretty salty for them. But at the end of the day, this is what we really are focusing on is ourselves as much as possible. Just it's early on, but that just goes for the entirety of the season. We're preaching win in the day. That's all that matters. 1-0 at the end of the day. And that might not be resulting in a win on the win column, but there's really good positive things that we can take away from every day in practice, every day on the court, and taking advantage of the opportunities that we do have. And tomorrow that's exactly what it is. It's an opportunity, and they're excited, as they should be, but you can tell they're not getting too overdone, because they know that this is a long season. We're 1-0 right now, but tomorrow we're 0-0. And we got to attack it as we're going to win the day tomorrow.
All right, going to have to. I can tell you that Rapid City Central was trailing by 10 at halftime, but they beat your Golden Eagles 61-58. So pretty good second half. Yeah. So a good effort there. Clearly an improved Cobbler team we'll see tomorrow. 1 o'clock start time tomorrow?
Yes,
right?
1 o'clock.
All right, Coach,
Yep.
we'll see you then. And great start to the season tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
52-41. Coach Brianna Kusler and her Governors get the victory here tonight. Let's take a 2-minute break. We'll come back and we'll have all of the full recap. We got big plays of the game and your player of the game still to come as we give you our Family Dental postgame at Governor basketball.
At Jan Bussey Ford & Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford & Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Being local means more than being just another small-town business. It means showing up for our member owners when they need us, supporting the organizations that empower the next generation of community leaders and agriculturalists, and providing resources to help ensure the communities we live in are here for generations to come. At AgTegra Cooperative, local isn't just about where our locations are. It's about serving our farmers, our employees, and our communities in ways that nobody else will.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
The Garage Doors. But Overhead Door Company of Pierre can help stop that energy waste with a full range of insulated, weather-tight garage doors. Their residential garage doors give you insulated performance at an uninsulated price. And their Thermocore insulated steel doors give commercial buildings the energy efficiency they demand today. Find out more. Call Overhead Door Company of Pierre at 1-800-649-9905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief.
This is Coach Scott Nye from your Pierre Governors and the team at Ranky Gray Wealth Management, where we focus on coaching something just as important, your finances. Everyone needs guidance through life's key financial decisions and challenges, not to mention the opportunity to feel confident that their retirement strategy will help them pursue the lifestyle they've dreamed about. As you're looking for the right team to assist you, we're right up the street and ready to provide you the help that can make all the difference. Contact our Pierre office today by visiting rankygray.com.
Back at Riggs as the gym empties out. Our Family Dental postgame, though, continues, and the recap coming up here. Brian Oakland with the play-by-play. A 52-41 win for the Pierre Governors tonight. Just got our first update from the girls' game, and a very good Rapid City Stevens team is having their way with kind of a new-look Governor girls team themselves. It's 46-15 at halftime, but we invite you to tune in for the rest of that one with Justin Coward on KGFX once we sign off here. A victory that had the Governors get off to a little bit of a slow start. It was 12-8 at Rapid City Stevens leading at the end of one. Stevens led well into the second quarter before the Governors started getting hot a little bit, and they turned it around and scored 18 points in the second period compared to 10 for the Raiders. Pierre led 26-22 at the half, and at that point, Pierre was shooting 50%, 12 out of 24. In the second half, Governors outscore Stevens 26-19. with an 8 for 19 shooting effort, 20 of 43 overall on the floor, but they hit 4 out of 10 3-pointers on the night as well. And then they finally started getting to the free throw line too. Govs hit on 8 out of 13. Luke Olson with 4 in the first half, 14 in the second half, finishes with a game-high 18 points. Corday Austin with a 12-point effort tonight. He had the team lead with 8 in the first half, and Dawson Getz ends up with 10 points tonight. So 3 players in double figures for the Governors tonight. Eladio Simmental will finish with 6 points. Sutton Sonnenschein hit a 3 off the bench in the second quarter that really kind of jump-started the Governors as it was. Lincoln Dilgis with 2 points. Sawyer Sonnenschein with 1 on the night. 52 overall for the Govs. For the Raiders, who go 8 of 21 in the first half, they'll shoot just 7 of 23 in the second half, 15 of 44 overall. But the real trouble that Stevens had tonight was shooting the 3. They finally hit one on their 16th attempt of the evening. They were 1 for 16 overall. And from the free throw line, Stevens ends up, I never finished this particular stat, but 10 out of 15. They got to the line, especially in the first half, and they did a pretty good job from there, but still needed a little bit more. Kaleem Brooks leads with 11 points for the Raiders. Daylor Segrist with the only 3-pointer finished with 10. Minka Hawley, the fine 6'4" senior guard, was held to just 8 points for Rapid City Stevens. Jess Christensen, the post player off the bench, scores 8 as well, but did foul out. J.D. Green with 4 points, all in the first half for Stevens. 52-41, the Govs win it. Stevens was out rebounding the Governors quite handily in the first half, but the Govs finished with a 26-19 advantage overall and 7-4 on the offensive end. Luke Olson leading with 8 rebounds for the Governors. Unofficially, the Governors held to stay at just 12 turnovers in this game compared to 15 for Stevens, but they played a little bit cleaner themselves in the second half. They had 9 of those turnovers in the first half. Pierre with a 10-5 advantage in the assist column, and half of the dishes come from Luke Olson as well. A pretty good all-around game for Luke Olson. A little bit of foreshadowing of what's to come. But that's the recap. Let's talk about big plays in this game. Big plays certainly contributed to the 11-point Governor win. Big plays are brought to you by Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre. We hear from them and touch on the big plays when we return with more Pierre Governor basketball.
Quality comes first at Hermanson Endodontics. Dr. Brian Hermanson serves Central South Dakota with specialty root canal treatment. Hermanson Endodontics strives to provide treatment that's not only comfortable, but also provides the best possible outcome. They do this by effective and timely communication with your dentist and preserving as much healthy tooth as possible using state-of-the-art 3-dimensional imaging and the dental operating microscope to guide diagnosis and treatment. Ask your dentist if a root canal specialist is right for you. Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre.
Hermanson Endodontics appear with big plays in the game, and we really have to look right there in the middle of the second quarter. And I think the one thing that really sprung the Governors was the first 3-pointer of the game. Pierre did miss a couple of 3-pointers. They weren't shooting a lot of them, but where Stevens was really struggling, finally Sutton Sonnenschein hit a 3-ball in that second period, and I really thought that that got the Governors going after he hit one. Then Dawson Getz hit one. Dawson scored the next couple of baskets to close out the quarter, and Pierre led 26-22. And I think it was right about that time that Sutton Sonnenschein hit that 3 that the crowd got a little more fired up and a little more into it if they weren't already. And just a big 3-pointer at the time. His only shot of the game, his only basket of the game, but Sutton Sonnenschein's 3-ball. And then another one from Dawson Getz in that second quarter, helping the Govs to an 18-10 scoring advantage in the period. Those are your big plays in this one tonight. You can tack on a whole lot of great defense throughout the second half as big plays of the game brought to you by Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre. And when we talk about players of the game, sponsored by Cowboy Country Stores of Pierre and Fort Pierre, again, I think Stevens is going to get their wins. It was a rough start tonight, but I figure, Rapid City Central, we still figure them to struggle, but certainly looks like they played a great second half tonight up at Aberdeen. Maybe Stevens starts with a similar effort at Aberdeen Central tomorrow, though. But Kaleem Brooks with a fine effort, and Segrist. And again, Minka Hawley does a lot of things, even if scoring-wise it's not working. He was held to 8 points. He's still going to have big things to say about how this season goes for the Raiders, however. But for the Governors, there certainly are some standout players, and we'll talk about them. But let's first hear from Cowboy Country Stores, our player of the game sponsor for Governor basketball.
Anytime is a good time for Cowboy Country stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. Fill up your tank and your stomach with delicious foods. 5-piece chicken tenders with wedges, just $9.99. Breakfast sandwich with hash browns, $6. Feed the family while on the go with delicious foods. Breakfast starting at 5 a.m. Fresh baked pastries, coffees, regular and breakfast pizzas. Convenience with a capital C. Cowboy Country stores and Champ's Chicken in Pierre and Fort Pierre.
Cowboy Country stores with players of the game and some great efforts. Really a great team win to start the season for the Govs. You get those 3 double-figure scores with Dawson Getz and 10. We're going to see some presumably big scoring efforts from him on the season. We talked about Corday Austin with Coach Kuzler as well. He starts his varsity career with a 12-point effort tonight, and among that, going 4 of 7 on the floor. Hit what we thought was a 3-pointer included, but toe was on the line. But just a good all-around game for the 6'3" junior Corday Austin. But the way Luke Olson played, he leads all scorers with 18 points, but I really thought it was his defense just as much as his offense. In addition to 18 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He's the statistical leader in all 3 of those categories for the Governors tonight. And that is certainly player of the game worthy. Luke Olson, the 5'11" senior guard, who's going to have to be pretty much the undisputed leader of this team, according to the head coach as well, starts off with player of the game, honorable effort in this season opening win. 52-41, the Governors win it. Luke Olson, your Cowboy Country Stores player of the game. As we mentioned, just a tough effort for the Governor girls so far, 46-15. The halftime score in that one, Justin's got the rest of that one still going on KGFX AM. And let's just take a look at what's to come. It's going to be Rapid City Stevens here tomorrow. 1 o'clock is the start time for our varsity game. We're on the air on River 92.7 at 12:30 with our pregame. Of course, we'll be live streaming with Brian Menning and Live Ticket once again. I do want to give you some updates as to how things are going at the Rapid City Invitational Wrestling Tournament. The Governor boys were as high as 3rd place earlier tonight, but they've fallen back to the 6th spot right now. Sturgis with 114.5 points. The Governors have 81.5 points. Bismarck, Watertown, Aberdeen, and Gillette Thunder Basin have passed Pierre. West Central just a couple of points behind. Stevens, by the way, for Stevens fans who may be listening, have 77 points and right now in 8th place. The Governor girls have passed Canton, though, as Canton was leading for most of the evening. Pierre, though, with 106.5 points to Canton's 98.5. An 8-point advantage for Pierre, and a 16-point advantage for Pierre over 3rd place Bismarck. So things going well for the Governor girls and okay for the Governor boys of the Rapid City Invite. They start up again at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning there. So once again, we invite you to tune over to KGFX and tune in to the Governor and Stevens girls game going on for the rest of the second half. And we'll also invite you to come back here tomorrow on River 92.7, 12:30 pregame of the Governors will host the Rapid City Central Cobblers. Central coming from behind and defeating Aberdeen Central tonight, 61-58. So they are 1-0, as are the Governors. Thanks to William Wilson for running the show in studio and to Brian Menning for doing the live ticket honors tonight. You can rewatch this one at drgnews.com, the River 92.7 page, and the DRG News smartphone app. Until we meet with you again tomorrow, your final Gales Gas Service scoreboard has Pierre winning this one 52-41 over Rapid City Stevens. Our coverage of Pierre Governor basketball and your official home of the Governors, DRG Media Group, River 92.7, made possible in part by your Pierre Sports marketing sponsors, Bank West and the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, by Beck Motors, Dakota Storm Roofing, Superior Concrete, Capital City, Ford, Lincoln, Toyota, Avera Orthopedics, Rinky Gray Wealth Management, Overhead Door, Kruger Contracting, Century Business Products, and Live Ticket. Governor basketball also brought to you by First Dakota National Bank, Avera Health, May Adam Law Office, TMA, Dakota Mart, and Access Health, and Governor basketball sponsored by Oahe Federal Credit Union, Bauman Lumber, Ferding Electric, Kathy Sonnenschein Properties, Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, Ramkota Hotel and Conference Center, by American Bank and Trust, Zander Auto Parts, Slumberland Furniture, in the Pierre Regional Airport, by Black Hills Federal Credit Union, and Wagner Auto. And our coverage of Governor Sports brought to you within the broadcast by Bank West, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, reminding us all that seatbelts save lives. Remember to buckle up every time you've got someplace to be. Also sponsored in the game by Central Dakota Eye Care, Envirotech, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, by Comtech, Coca-Cola Bottling, Wealth Partners, Ameriprise Financial, Family Dental of Pierre and Gettysburg, Hermanson Endodontics, Cowboy Country Stores, and Gales Gas Service in Pierre. 52-41, the Governors with the victory. We'll talk with you again tomorrow, 12:30 with a pregame. I'm Brian Oakland, DRG Media Group Sports. Have a great rest of this Friday, everybody.
This presentation